Do you want us to open the show, open the game, the two of us on camp? Welcome to Winter Chevrolet Stadium. I'm Scott McDonald, and I'm here with Tony Schultz as we're going to bring you tonight's game. The first of two between the Pittsburg Diamonds and the Napa Silverados. They played 2 nights ago. The Diamonds with a dramatic walk-off victory when Joel Carranza knocked in Brett Smith in the 9th inning to win 10-9. Then the Diamonds went to Sonoma last night, where they committed 2 errors that allowed 5 unearned runs, and the Diamonds lost. Tonight they're trying to get back on the winning side of things, and they'll be playing these Silverados, who are desperate to win as they're trying to chase Vallejo, which today lost its 10th game in a row. We'll get back to what's going on with tonight's game right after this, because we're going to have our national anthem. Our national anthem on a warm Saturday night in Pittsburgh, as the Pittsburgh Diamonds and the Napa Silverados get set to square off again. Silverados are in a desperate attempt to finish fourth in the Pacific Association. Fourth place is the last playoff position, and they are 4 games behind Vallejo. Vallejo today lost their 10th game. I believe they led San Rafael 4-0 and ended up losing 7-4. So they are in a free fall, but Napa has not been able to take full advantage, including their loss to the Diamonds here 2 nights ago. So this is a big weekend for the Silverados, but it's also a big weekend for the Diamonds, who are only 2 games ahead of those Admirals in 3rd place. And Napa is nipping at the heels of the Admirals, so it is a 3-team race for 2 playoff spots, and the Diamonds happen to be ahead of the other 2 teams, but not by much. So they want to stay as far ahead as they can. There are only 12 games left in the Pacific Association season. In fact, Saturday night here, 2 weeks from tonight, will be the championship game for the Pacific Association. After the regular season ends, the number 1 team will play number 4, and 2 will play 3 on Saturday. And excuse me, it'll be 2 weeks from tomorrow that the championship game takes place. The Diamonds now take the field. They will be led tonight by Brett Solano, who is having an outstanding season, number 2 in the league in victories, and they are very happy to have him on the mound whenever he is going to pitch, because they believe he will give them a chance to win. They'll be facing Christopher De Leon on the mound for Napa. And the Pittsburgh Diamonds have just been on a tear in the month of August. They have wanted to be the champions of August. They wanted to come out and have the best record of any team in the league in August and have that momentum going into the playoffs. Right now, they are achieving that. Last night's game notwithstanding, 2 errors that led to 5 unearned runs, and the Diamonds lost that game. But they're back with Brett Solano on the mound. They're back at home against Napa, and they're hoping to turn things around. In fact, that they need to win these 2 games over the weekend to have a winning week. If they split them, they'll have a 500 week at 3-3. If they win both, then go 4-2. What seems to be the biggest problem for the Pittsburgh Diamonds is whenever they get within 1 game of getting back to the 500 mark, they can't seem to pull off that victory. And that was the case yesterday. Right now, they're 2 games below 500, so a sweep this weekend will put them there, but that's putting us ahead of ourselves. Right now, we got tonight's game to go. Brett Solano is ready to get back up on the mound. Napa's ready to come to bat, and ready to bring you the play-by-play is Tony Schultz.
All right, Scotty, thank you very much. For Napa, it'll be Ray Jones, Devin Ramirez, Willie Salas, Kendall Coleman, Nico Tony, Nick Kerr, Dominic Betancourt, Zach Taylor, and Drake Yoshioka. That lineup, of course, will take on Brett Smith. That'll kick College. Smith coming in with an 8-3 record, 4.32 ERA and 13 starts. And we're ready to get underway. First pitch, slap left side and foul. And the count 0-1 to Ray Jones. In those 13 starts for Solano, 85 and a third, 60 strikeouts, and 15 walks. Diamonds coming in 33 and 35. Napa 27 up, 41 down. So Jones, Ramirez, and Willie Salas to take on the Diamonds right-hander. Diamonds in black, and the next pitch swung on and missed, strike two. And the Napa Silverados in their travel gray with the red trim. Quitzer, Smith, Blatnick, left to right in the outfield. Bracamonte, Garcia, Valero, Lashley at his third to first on the infield with Javier doing the catching. No balls, 2 strikes here to Ray Jones. Jazz getting underway from Winter Chevrolet Stadium, and the pitch swing cued out left side, picked up by the third baseman Bracamonte, who throws to get him out, and that is the first out of the ball game.
It's interesting to see that Jose Garcia has been put in at shortstop. Let's get a look at this last ground ball. There it is off the bat of Jones, and it goes to the left side. Garcia going for it, but cutting in front of him is the third baseman Bracamonte to make the play. Garcia last night was at second base. Valera had one of those errors that led to the unearned runs, and as soon as it was over, he was taken out of the game for a sore shoulder. He's in again tonight, but at second base.
Next pitch here to Devin Ramirez, and that one misses ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. Saul Lopez is the home plate umpire. Ricardo Rodriguez has the field duties this evening. 1-0 pitch, and that's in there, a strike, and we count 1 ball and 1 strike to the left-handed batting Devin Ramirez at first base tonight. Got those high red stirrups going with the black sanitary socks underneath. Left-handed batter waits, and the pitch swung on and just kind of slapped into center field. Smith ranging over. He reaches up, takes it for the out, and quickly 2 up and 2 down here in the first.
Now batting the shortstop, number 26.
So here's Willie Salas.
Also tonight's beer
Smith looking for a 1-2-3 inning, and Willie, he's going to be the beer batter, so a buck off of beer here if Willie strikes out.
Willie Salas comes up here hitting 298. That's a big difference. A home run and 18 runs batted in. He has 22 strikeouts, which is not that many compared to the rest of the team.
First pitch to him misses. Ball 1 ball and no strikes. And Solano last outing August 12th. At the Admirals, that was a 14-4 win for Solano and the Diamonds. Brett went 7 innings in that ball game. Comes in here with a nice ERA. Last year did well. Only pitched in 26 2/3 innings last year, but finished the year with a 3.37 ERA. So he's become a very reliable guy for the Diamonds. This one is low, and he quickly falls behind the third place hitter Salas. 3 balls and no strikes. Kind of a warm, muggy day here in Pittsburgh.
With bad air quality on top of it.
3-0 pitch, and that's in there for a strike. Welcome to California. Beautiful sunshine and a whole lot of smoke.
Yes. Sunshine and flames.
So if you're not a cigarette smoker, you are now. A 3-1 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 2. So Solano able to battle back from 3-0 to run the count full. Solano putting together some nice outings here lately, and has pitched against the Admirals a couple of times here. So this team with this pitcher, very familiar. This one back to the screen, and we'll do the payoff pitch one more time.
That was coming
Brett, 6'1", 200 pounds. Was not drafted out of high school. It certainly turned into a very reliable arm for the Diamonds over the last couple of seasons. Here's the pitch, and that is low ball 4. So Salas ends up getting the 2-out walk. So he's aboard here for Kendall Coleman, the left fielder.
The left fielder, number 21, Kendall Coleman.
So a good outing for Brett last time. 7 innings, 4 runs. The previous outing at the Pacifics, he got the win. The Diamonds beat Santa Fe 8-3. 6 innings, 3 earned runs in that ball game. So
that is a rare walk for Solano. He's got 85 and a third innings pitching coming in here, and only 15 walks in that time.
Pitch to Kendall Coleman is low, ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. Faced the Silverados back on July the 25th, no decision. Diamonds did up getting the win, but another good outing. Scott, 7 innings, 3 runs for Brett. So he's become Mr. Reliable. There goes the runner. Now it's a bluff, and the next pitch is taken in there. A strike, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike to Kendall Coleman. Kendall could keep it alive. Nico Tony would get a chance. Diamonds tripped up last night. Scott told you about that. The 1-1 pitch is low for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. Previous night, well, a whole lot of excitement. Diamonds ended up winning in walk-off fashion, and then Scott broke out the factoid. That was the first walk-off win all year. The throwback to first gets away, and Willie Salas going to end up at second base, takes the turn there, throw going all the way to third. So a free 90 feet dished out by the Diamonds, and Brett Solano will be charged with a throwing error.
The Silverados run so much, they don't need any help gaining 90 feet. They'll take it whenever they can get it. And so that was just a free pass.
Kendall Coleman checking on making sure the count is right. 2 balls and 1 strike to Coleman. Left-hander waits, pitch inside for a ball. 3 balls and a strike. So back-to-back hitters. Solano was falling behind. Went 3-0 to Willie Salas before getting to 3-2. Salas drew the walk, and now Coleman up there with a favorable hitter's count. 3-1. Check swing foul ball, 3-2. Jones a ground out to third. Ramirez a fly out to center. Walk to Salas. And now Solano trying to get Kendall Coleman here to finish the top half of the first. Diamonds baseball coming to you from on Delta TV and Mixler this evening. And the payoff pitch, swing ball, that is lined right to Garcia, who makes the catch at shortstop, and the side is retired. After half an inning, Silverados do not score, and the Diamonds coming up.
Red's Barbershop. You know when it's time for a haircut, but you aren't really thrilled with the trim you've been getting? You'd like to find a new hair cutter, but it seems like a big hassle with too many choices and not enough information. We're giving you the take sign, as in take down this information. Call Red's Barbershop and make an appointment. Red has the skills and experience with all types of hair. He is great with the latest styles and still knows how to make you shine with more traditional haircuts. Call 925-382-1399 and make an appointment. That's 925-382-1399. Red's Barbershop is at 190 East 7th Street, just off Railroad Avenue in Old Town. Give Red a call today, 925-382-1399. Red's Barbershop. You know when it's time for a haircut, but you aren't really thrilled with the trim you've been getting? You'd like to find a new hair cutter, but it seems like a big hassle with too many choices and not enough information. Oh, sure, you'll ask for advice if you want some, but usually you know exactly how you want your business publications and handouts to look. That's where Paper Tiger Ready Print comes in. It is their mission to help you achieve your business goals, and that starts by listening to what you want and making it happen. At Paper Tiger Ready Print, they believe there is no greater satisfaction than delivering a finished product that helps a client reach their goals and objectives. Give them a try. You won't be disappointed. Paper Tiger Ready Print at 182 East Leland Road in Pittsburgh or readyprint.com.
Okay, to the bottom of the first we go, and for the Diamonds, Brett Smith is in center, Morgan Blatnick in right, Gabe Bracamati at third, Carranza in his usual cleanup spot. He's the DH. Lashley will bat fifth. He's at first. Valera at second base tonight. Quitzer in left. Javier behind the plate. Garcia is at shortstop. And that group will take on Chris DeLeon, 0-2, 495 earned run average, 7 games, 3 starts, 16 and a third innings pitched for Chris, 15 strikeouts, 15 walks, and 15 hits. And coming off an outing where he did very well against the Stoppers, no decision. The Napa won it 3-0, 4 and a third, no earned runs, just 3 hits and 7 strikeouts for DeLeon, his last time out. Pitch to Smith, and that is low for a ball. And the count 1 ball and no strikes. Coleman, Jones, and Kern left to right for Napa. Bethencourt, Salas, Yoshioka, Ramirez, third to first in the infield. Next pitch, missing, count 2-0. Taylor behind the plate for the aforementioned Chris DeLeon, who spent the previous season with the champion Vallejo Admirals. 2-0 pitch, here it is. Fastball misses, and the count goes 3 balls and no strikes. So DeLeon has faced the Diamonds 3 times this year. The last time was back on August the 4th. He went 1 inning and did not give up any runs. 3-0 pitch is in there for a strike, and the count goes 3-1. Also faced the Diamonds on July 25th and the 24th, both times in relief. Couple of innings and just 1 hit. 3-1 pitch and in there for a strike, count 3-2. So DeLeon has gotten to 3 games against Pittsburgh. And in those 3 innings, he's done well. He's given up 4 hits and no earned runs to the Diamonds. It's his first start against Pittsburgh here this afternoon. Payoff pitch inside for a ball, and Brett Smith leads it off with a walk, and that'll bring up Morgan Blatnick.
Now batting, the right fielder, number 15, Morgan.
The Diamonds tripped up yesterday, but Blatnick, couple of more walks. He just continues to pile those up. And he continues to have a very fine season. He and Smith have just been fantastic at the top of the order for the Diamonds all year long. And things started well already with Smith aboard at first. Blatt takes inside for a ball, and the count 1-0. Blatnick to be followed by Bracamonte. And then if they can avoid the double play, Carranza would get a chance to hit, and that one's in there for a strike, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike to Morgan. Of course, Carranza, the big walk-off hit 2 nights ago, as the Diamonds won that game in dramatic fashion.
Yeah, but his sound is good in there because I was wondering if he was being picked up by his own microphone.
1 ball, 1 strike to Morgan. Left-handed batter waits, and the pitch way up high, and the count goes 2 balls and a strike. Well, that has really been Morgan's signature, and that is drawing the base on balls. On base percentage, as you might figure, way up high. Bracamonte waits on deck. The next pitch in there, calling the high strike that time is the home plate umpire, Saul Lopez. I think Blatnick thought that was above the letters. It certainly looked to be. But 2 balls, 2 strikes nonetheless. Just getting started from Winter Chevrolet. Throw back to first. Solano diving back in. Blatnick and the Diamonds still trying to get back to the 500 level. There's the next pitch, and that one misses in the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2 count to Morgan. Solano aboard at first. Is he running? Let's see. And De Leon thinks he might be. Chris takes a quick peek over there as Solano trots back to the bag. Being held on by Ramirez. There he goes. 3-2 pitch. It is called a strike. And Smith is going to be safe. So Blatnick strikes out. Smith steals second base. So here comes Bracamonte with 1 on, 1 out, and a runner in scoring position.
Gabriel Bracamonte.
Here's a replay of that. Smith going. Boy, and just did make it. That was close play at second base. So here's Bracamonte having a very fine year. He was hit in 9
Good mojo for him when I do that.
of the last 10 ball games. 3 hits Thursday, including a double, 3 RBIs, 2 more yesterday, and picked up another run batted in. 1 ball, no strikes to Gabe. And the word is that he has been a much sought after commodity. But for reasons we'll get into as we go along, he has not been picked up. Swings up, squares this one up, drives it to right field. Kern going back, makes the catch. Smith will tag and move on to third, albeit now with 2 down.
Now batting the designated
So here's Joel Carranza. Walk-off winner 2 nights ago, and boy, wasn't that exciting. He ripped that ball into right field, and I initially thought the right fielder had made the catch, and I think it was Coleman, if I'm not mistaken. It was out there in right field for the Silverados. But it ended up being the winner for Pittsburgh as they won it 10-9. Here's the pitch swung on, and Carranza puts a blast into this one. Left center field, away back it goes. Reaching up is Ray Jones to make the catch in front of the Oranje chiropractic sign to end the inning. So that very nearly was a 2-run blast, but the Diamonds heartbroken here in the first after 1 full. No score, and we'll take another look.
Baseball's Hall of Fame is dedicated to
Boy, a blast by Carranza. Jones on the run into the gap, and he's able to run it down, and that's that. To the top of the second we go. No score from Winter Chevrolet Stadium in Pittsburgh.
Great family fun, delicious Mexican food, and prices that make it all affordable have been the formula since the New Mecca Cafe opened, and it's still true today. Check it out. Your stomach will thank you.
Nick's Sandwiches. Want to tailgate in City Park before the next Diamonds home game? Nick's Sandwiches is a great place to start. Everything you need for a big crew of hungry fans, or a tasty lunch on the Delta, or a quick grab of coffee and a bite to eat on the way to work. Nick's Sandwiches is in Old Town Pittsburgh on Railroad Avenue, across from the marina. Eating at the Diamonds' favorite deli is as satisfying as a 3-run homer. Start your pregame warm-up at Nick's Sandwiches, 315 Railroad Avenue in Old Town.
Red has the skills and experience with all types of hair. He's great with the latest style.
One example of teamwork is a smoothly executed double play memorialized in the famous baseball poem, Tinkers to Evers to Chance. Another example of great teamwork is the Pittsburg Chamber of Commerce. MyPittsburghChamber.org brings together the many and varied businesses that make up the local economy and forges them into a community force that is focused on economic development, advocacy, partnerships, and workforce development. The Pittsburgh Chamber is making a difference. Even if your business doesn't leave you the time to get personally involved, your membership contribution will advance the cause. Visit MyPittsburghChamber.org today.
Tomorrow, 1 o'clock, when they play the Silverados.
And to the top of the second we go. Nico Tony, Nick Kurt, Dominic Bethencourt. And should anybody reach, we'd see the catcher, Zach Taylor. Second inning for Brett Smith. Put up a 0 in that first. And now the right-hander ready to go. And from the stretch, the first pitch, swing and a miss in the count. No balls and 1 strike. Told you the Diamonds trying to get back to 500, and Scott had mentioned that they get close to that, and it's kind of like Lucy and Charlie Brown that just keep pulling the football away. There's a pitch swung on and missed, strike 2. They found it very difficult to get back to that break-even point. No balls, 2 strikes here to Nico Tony. Swing on, just punches this one to shortstop. Garcia a couple of steps in, throws high. Lashley stays on the bag, makes the grab, and 1 up and 1 down. So Tony is out.
Number 7, Nick Kern.
That one goes 6-3. Notice Josh Montalago not in the ball game today, and I'm wondering if that had anything to do with the injury he suffered a couple of nights ago. The ball was thrown from second base, and it invariably just bounced and hit him right above the left eye. Next pitch to Kern is low for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. He stayed in and played defense, but then his next at bat, he was lifted for a pinch hitter. So one of their power guys not in the lineup here this evening. Foul pop, right side. Lashley now back toward fair territory. It looks like he made the catch just in foul territory, or at least that's what Ricardo Rodriguez is saying. So a foul pop to the first baseman, and Nick Kern is retired for out number 2. And here comes Dominic Bethencourt. Taking another look at that one. I don't know if that was the wind or that Lashley just overran the play, but he was well into foul territory, was Lash, and then almost back into fair territory to make the play. So a foul pop out for Kern, and here's Bethencourt, nobody aboard and 2 down. He takes low for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Napa coming in 27-41, so 4 games behind the Diamonds. That pitch missing, and the count goes 2 balls and no strikes. So they're playing the Diamonds here today. They'll play the Diamonds here tomorrow. Very important games, especially for the Silverados. The next pitch is low, 3 balls and no strikes. In that first inning for Solano, retired 3 out of the 4 batters he faced. He did allow a walk to Willie Salas before getting Coleman to line out to the shortstop to end the threat. Willie did end up at second base after Solano made an error trying to pick him off at first. Fastball in there for a strike, and the count 3-1. All right. right, Solano running, and the pitch swung on. That's hit hard into the gap, ranging over there into left center field is Chris Quitzer to take it for the out. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Brett Solano. We've got an inning and a half in the books. No score from Pittsburgh.
Which is why baseball teams are happy to split their road games. But there is one way to guarantee a win on the road. That's by staying at Hampton Inn by Hilton.
Are you looking for a community-based establishment that will provide a fun and exciting environment for your family? Certainly Diamond's Baseball is one, and no doubt Lumpy's Diner is another. Before or after the game, eating at Lumpy's Diner or Lumpy's Diner Express can make for a great doubleheader. And if you want to win a road game, LD's Catering will make your event a hit no matter the location. Lumpy's Diner is a homegrown sensation, world famous since 2008. Bring your family to ours.
Little J's. The handcrafted burgers are sensational. The generous sandwiches are delicious. The hand-carved tri-tip is the best in town. Getting hungry? You probably already know where to go to find these food treasures. Little J's in Pittsburgh. Since 2003, Little J's has been rewarding those smart enough to stop in for a meal. They can also cater your next event. On Loveridge Road, it's Little J's Restaurant.
And remember, if you want to take part in any of the interactive games happening between innings, please stop by the first base dugout to sign up.
What?
Prizes or be the star of the game.
I can't hear any. I am like listening to the.
All right, to the bottom of the second we go. Lashley to lead it off. Rafael Valera and Chris Quitzer, the first three, to face Chris DeLeon. Usually a reliever getting the start tonight. And a couple of very important games for these Napa Silverados as they try to stay close to that fourth and final playoff spot. Trying to run down the Diamonds. Diamonds, couple of games better than Vallejo for that fourth spot. Vallejo, however, they dropped their 10th in a row earlier this afternoon against San Rafael. And let's just say the Admiral ship has taken on a whole lot of water. And they are really in trouble right now. And I was checking some of the stats, and their offensive players are still doing pretty well. There's a pitch inside for a ball. They're actually called a strike, count nothing in one. No balls, one strike. Here's to Lashley and swinging a foul left side, and Ryan quickly in the hole. No balls and two strikes. Some breeze now blowing into the grandstand. Another hot day here in Pittsburgh, and it's been one of the hotter summers here in recent memory. This one swung on and missed strike three, and three pitches. Ryan Lashley is struck out. Here's Rafael Valera.
Baseman number 2, Rafael Valera.
Got a chance to meet Rafael's fiance, who's been attending these last few games. Scott tells me that, Rafael, she's from Venezuela. We're having some technical difficulties with Scott's mic, something about he's unable to hear what's going on with the broadcast. Here's the pitch that's inside for a ball. Hopefully we'll get that taken care of soon. I'm getting lonesome. Grandstand starting to fill up behind me here a little bit. And now De Leon wants a new baseball. So lash out number one, and now a 1-0 pitch due to Rafael. Right-handed batter waits. Breaking ball stays outside. Looked like that might have been the slider, just drifted a little too far outside. The count, 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 pitch to Rafi, swung on, hit hard. right field and deep, going back and making the running catch just ahead of the warning track is the right fielder, Nick Kern. Kern getting a workout here pretty early. That ball was hit very hard by Raphael the other way, but Kern able to run it down for out number 2. Here's Kritzer, nobody aboard, 2 down. So Carranza, he flew out to left, driving Coleman to the wall. Here's the pitch to Quits. That one is low for a ball, and Valera spanks one out to right field, but Kern has to run down on the warning track. So a couple of loud outs here by the Diamonds. That one is low, 2 balls and no strikes. So even though for De Leon, he has faced just 1 over the minimum so far, the Diamonds have hit a couple of balls very hard. Here's another one that's going to be backhanded by the third baseman, Bethencourt, who throws him out. Quitzer hits the ball hard as well, but he is out 5-3. 2 innings in the books here from Pittsburg. Silverados and the Diamonds, no score.
Care about your local community? How about a bank founded in Contra Costa that's been supporting
Little J's. The handcrafted burgers are sensational. The generous sandwiches are delicious. The hand-carved tri-tip is the best in town. Getting hungry? You probably already know where to go to find these food treasures. Little J's in Pittsburg. Since 2003, Little J's has been rewarding those smart enough to stop in for a meal. They can also cater your next event. On Loveridge Road, it's Little J's Restaurant. Hampton by Hilton. Road trips can be grueling, which is why baseball teams are happy to split their road games. But there's one way to guarantee a win on the road. That's by staying at Hampton Inn by Hilton. Fresh, up-to-date accommodations include a hearty cooked breakfast to get you off to a good start on the day. Known for low-end prices and high-end service, a stay at Hampton Inn by Hilton means you can earn points in the valuable Hilton Honors Program. You can find a Hampton Inn by Hilton in Pittsburg and Brentwood.
Top of the third we go. Zach Taylor, Drake Yoshioka, and Ray Jones, 8-9-1 to face Brett Solano. 2 innings in the books, no score so far. The Diamonds have a walk, and well, so does the Napa Silverados, and that's it so far in the ball game. So Brett Solano ready for his 3rd inning of work, and he'll start it off with the catcher, Zach Taylor. Yesterday, the Diamonds up in Sonoma lost that ball game 8-2. Ethan Gibbons ended up getting the win for the Stompers. Dakota Freeze took the loss for Pittsburgh. First pitch misses, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. The unearned runs killed the Diamonds yesterday, and they made a couple of costly errors. 1-0 pitch, swing ground ball to third, and this one gloved by Bracamonte over to first in time for the out. 1 up and 1 down, and here's Drake Yoshioka, the second baseman.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 17, Drake Yoshioka.
So for Gibbons, who got the win for the Stomp, 6 innings, 2 earned, 6 hits. Freeze, who took the loss, 5 innings, 6 runs, but only 3 of them earned. And Dakota did have 7 strikeouts, so more than likely he deserved a better fate. The first pitch to Yoshioka is outside for a ball, and we count 1 ball and no strikes to the Napa second baseman and 9th place hitter. Ray Jones, the top of the order man, is next, right side, and Lashley can't get it. This one's going to be a base hit into right field. And Yoshioka, the first hit for Napa, And the first hit of the ball game, he's aboard now. 1-on-1 out for Ray Jones. So here's Jones. He grounded out to Bracamonte his first time. So the 500 runs yielded by Pitt yesterday. Also, Brett Smith had his 16-game hitting streak snapped. Smith had really put together a wonderful streak. And, of course, a couple of nights ago, kept it going with a late-game triple. Here's the pitch, and that one's inside for a ball. And the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Taylor grounded out 5-3. Yoshioka the base hit to right field. And now 1 ball and no strikes to Ray Jones. Throw back over to first, and Yoshi diving back in safely. So Napa's done a bunch of running this year, but they have slowed down the pace as the season has gone along. Yoshi not a huge lead over there, now getting a little bit more. And the pitch, and that one is low for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. So yesterday, Carranza and Bracamonte each had a couple of hits. A hit each for Valera and Blatnick and Ryan Lashley. 2 more walks for Morgan, giving him 68 in 62 games. Another throw over to first base. 68 walks in 62 games for Morgan Blatnick. Well, he's just wearing pitchers out with that. Imagine all the extra pitches you got to make to not get an out. Swinging a foul ball. And the count goes 2 balls and 1 strike. Think about you got to make at least 4 pitches to a guy. He's going to walk. You do all that work and you still don't get an out. Very advantageous to the Diamond offensive punch. All right, 2 balls and a strike. Left-handed batting Jones waits. And the pitch to him swung on, slapped into right. Here comes Blatnick, who makes the catch, and Yoshioka quickly retreating back to first. So Jones is out for the second time today. He's 0 for 2 as he flies to right. Devin Ramirez now 1 on and 2 out for the Napa first baseman. And for Sonoma last night, Cam Stewart, he had a couple of hits, including his 11th home run, 3 RBIs. He also walked 3 times and scored 3. Pitch, and that is low for a ball. The count 1-0.
Hey, Brett, find that focus. You got it, baby. Come on. Find the focus. Let's go.
So, for Solano, he faced the minimum last inning and 1 over the minimum in the first. Ground ball to third. Blatnick juggles, picks it up, throws, and gets him. That's actually Bracamonte. And that'll be out number 3. So another good inning for Brett Solano through 2.5. Still no score from Winter Chevrolet Stadium in Pittsburgh.
The 90 feet between third base and home plate is some of the most important real estate in sports. That's why a coach is located there to help runners navigate the valuable turf. There is help for you, too, when you need to navigate real estate issues. Kroski Real Estate in Pittsburgh has been building strong communities since 1946. The family-owned and operated business is an expert on commercial property management, real estate sales, and residential property management. Kroski Real Estate is on Railroad Avenue in Old Town, Pittsburgh. When you are making the turn for home, get the help you need from Kroski Real Estate. If you've been there before, you know when your car breaks down on the freeway, you want quick, reliable service. You want All Counties Tow. With 20 years of experience, 7 locations in Northern California, and 50 trucks, All Counties Tow is the one to count on when you need roadside help. You can find them at allcotow.com or phone 925-709-0759 for fast, dependable service. Easy and painless. All Counties Tow.
All right, Stephen Javier, Jose Garcia, and Brett Smith, 8-9-1 to face Chris De Leon. Moving right along in this one, already here to the bottom of the third. Just one hit in the ball game and a couple of walks, and that's it. Pitchers having their way early, but well, like Scott and I say, boy, these things can turn around in a hurry. So here's Javier to lead it off. Just one over the minimum so far for Chris De Leon. Gave up the walk to Brett Smith. And that was leading off the bottom of the first, and that's it. The only thing yielded by De Leon so far. Right-hander ready, and the pitch. And that one is low for a ball. The count 1 ball and no strikes to Stephen Javier. Done a pretty nice job defensively for Pittsburgh. Still struggling to find the stroke, however. The 1-0 pitch swung on, popped in the air, right side. Second baseman Yoshioka going back. Kern coming in. It'll be Yoshi. Takes it on the edge of the outfield grass. 1 up and 1 down. And here's Jose Garcia, the shortstop.
Jose Garcia.
Garcia, right-handed batter. Bats here with nobody aboard and 1 down. So Napa yesterday tripped up by San Rafael. They had a tough one as well. When on the outside corner, a strike, and the count no balls and 1 strike. Dropped their game to the Pacifics 15-4. Really took a thumping yesterday, the 0-1 pitch, and that one is slammed. Willie Salas reaches up, makes the leap, can't make the catch, however, and that one was really squared up by Garcia, who gets the base hit. So that is the first hit for the Diamonds here. And with 1 out, they've got a man aboard here for Brett Smith. So Garcia gets the Diamonds' first hit of the evening. Now Smith, who walked to lead off the bottom of the first, stands in. Let's see if the Diamonds can't put something together with Smith and Blatnick coming up. Right-handed batter waits. Garcia with the lead, and the fastball in there. A strike, and the count 0-1 to Brett Smith. Smith waits, the 0-1 pitch, and that one is hammered to left field. Coleman coming over and makes the catch. That ball was absolutely crushed. Coleman just had to drift over a couple of steps to make the grab, and that was a loud out number 2.
That ball was hit on the nose, as you said, but the Diamonds have had a lot of that with hitting the ball hard, but right at defenders.
Right now we're looking at about 3 atom balls already in the game. So Chris De Leon's got things going on, but really hasn't been a big mystery to the Diamonds. They've been able to square them up. Here's the pitch to Blatnick, and that's in there for a strike. Count 0-1 to Morgan. Bracamonte waits on deck. 1 on, 2 down. And the pitch to Morgan, and that one's a bit high. 1 ball and 1 strike.
You think the Diamonds would be considering sending Garcia here with 2 outs and a runner at first, try to get him in scoring position at least.
Good risk-reward ratio here, certainly in the Diamonds' favor. Garcia, pretty good lead over there, not going. Next pitch misses, and they count 2 balls and a strike. Of course, with Blatnick up there, you might just want to wait because chances are he'll be walking down to first base. Morgan had the batting average way up high earlier in the season. It's come down a bit. Here's the pitch. Swinging a ground ball left side. Third baseman coming over Bethencourt. Tips off his glove. Rolls out into short left field. Garcia going to go around to third base. And that'll probably be an error charged to Bethencourt. So I'm thinking E5, and the Diamonds have them cornered here with 2 outs.
Bethencourt just knocks that ball into left field. He can't quite get it in his glove, and by doing that, he allowed Garcia to get to third. So the Diamonds with 2 outs have runners at the corners.
So here's Brock, the well-sought-after Bracamonte. And, of course, the situation, as you know, and then the association is these guys are going to be moving up, a lot of them, and this pitch is just outside for a ball. And that's, of course, you know, what it's all about. But the Diamonds certainly would like to hold on to Bracamonte for as long as they can. He has been such a good player for this team. Garcia at third, Blatnick at first. De Leon ready. Here's the pitch, and Brock able to lay off that one. And the count goes 2 balls and no strikes. Joel Carranza waiting on deck. From the stretch, 2-0. Inside corner, I should say. 2 balls and a strike. Runners with their lead. And here's De Leon, the 2-1. Outside, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. A 3-ball, 1 strike count here. I have to figure the Diamonds probably wouldn't be running. Give Bracamonte a chance to drive in a run. And they're not running. And this one high for a ball. And the Diamonds are going to have the bases loaded for Joel Carranza with 2 outs. Big spot early in this ball game.
Batting the designated hitter, number 7, Joel Carranza.
Scott and I always talk about some of those turning points in a ball game. Well, this could very well be one of them. Bottom of the third, bases full and 2 down.
And I think it's important to note, though, there's pressure on Zach Taylor behind home plate with Jose Garcia on at third, looking for any opportunity to break for the plate.
Fastball, check swing. Carranza holds up. And that'll be ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. So the Diamonds have them loaded. Carranza trying to drive some of them in right now. The 1-0 pitch fastball, and that misses inside. 2 balls and no strikes. And De Leon looked like he was looking for something extra on that one.
Well, now the pressure's on him as well with a 2-0 count. He's got to come with some strikes because he has no place to put Carranza.
Certainly don't want to go 3-0 here. Joel should see something good to hit. 2-0 pitch. He is swinging, and he hammers this one deep left field, and that is a grand slam home run for Joel Carranza. 4-0 Pittsburgh.
That is Carranza's 8th home run on the year, his 52nd, 53rd, 54th, and 55th run batted in. And he has just been on a tear, and not just hitting the ball, but hitting the ball when the pressure is on, when the game is on the line, with his game-winning home run. I mean, his walk-off single the other night, his 3-run home run in the 9th inning against these very Silverados in Napa, and this grand slam here in the 3rd inning to make it 4-0.
Here's Lashley, pops it up. Bethencourt coming into foul territory. Still coming. The catcher Taylor over there, but they run out of room. Boy, this place is now buzzing after the grand slam home run from Rafael Carranza. And he got the count 2-0. You'd have to figure, Scott, he's going to see something good to hit. He did, and he did not miss it, hitting it out to the over the left field wall. And just like that, the Diamonds lead it by 4. 0-1 pitch, that's smashed into left field. That's a base hit for Lashley. So even before the grand slam, we were saying the Diamonds making some outs, but there were some loud outs. Mm-hmm. And now you look at it, and it's, well, the Diamonds have just, they've been squaring up De Leon a lot here so far.
But it's like in so many cases, Garcia got a hard line drive single, but Blatnick made it on base with an error on the 3rd baseman, and then Bracamonte walked to get on base. And those two scored ahead of Carranza along with Garcia to make it 4-0. There's Tito Fuentes Jr. out there having a conversation with De Leon, and he's going to leave the mound before Saul Lopez gets a chance to tell him to get off there.
Well, that trip to the mound, you know he wasn't bringing the hook. They had nobody warming up. And for a guy who is usually a reliever, a lot of times you think, you know, you get kind of knocked around early, and maybe you wouldn't be going too far in the game, but they've got nobody pitching behind or warming up behind De Leon as Valera takes a strike and the count 0-1.
And you saw Tito Fuentes Jr. stop in the 3rd base box and have a chat with Aaron Miles. They're very good buddies, and it's not surprising they would have a few comments for each other, good, bad, and indifferent. As the game goes along, they talk about it all.
1 ball and 1 strike here to Valera. Lashley with the base hit following the grand slam by Carranza. 1-1 pitch. That one hops up there. Lash thought about it momentarily, but Taylor, a nice job to keep that one in the vicinity. And Lash back to first base. So Joel putting a charge into one, and Diamonds with the 4-0 lead here in the 3rd, and of course that coming with 2 down. Diamonds trying to make some more noise in here before this inning comes to an end. 2-1 pitch, and Rafael takes the fastball in there for a strike. And boy, it certainly sounds like De Leon's not having any problem with velocity. That glove is popping very loud. Right-hander comes set. 2-2. And a called strike 3, and Valera knew it as he just walks away. But the damage is done. Joel Carranza, a 2-out grand slam. And at the end of 3, it's the Diamonds 4 and the Silverados 0.
Whether your goal is to get to Carnegie Hall or to break into the Diamonds lineup, the best way to get there is practice.
Our family's been involved in recycling ever since my dad became a scavenger back in the 40s. It's what we're good at. It's what we've got the most experience in. In our houses, we make decisions every day on how much water we use, how much electricity we use, how much we recycle. In the old days when we were just all landfilling, it was a very, very simple business. You picked up the garbage, you went in the truck, it was brought to the landfill. Now with the advent of a new era of environmental consciousness, the precedent is for more and more resource recovery, and we pride ourselves on being on the forefront of that.
If you turn it
Well, we went to over 15 recycling centers throughout the West Coast, in Colorado, Washington, Oregon, and throughout the state of California. And we looked at their recycling processes, what machines they had, what they pulled out. And what we noticed was that a lot of the extra material that the machines weren't pulling out were just going into the landfill.
And that's really what we're talking about. We're taking materials that had previously been going to landfill and using them for a higher and better use, thereby preserving natural resources, number one, preserving energy, number two, because it's cheaper to use recycled material than it is to use virgin material.
Well, Joel Carranza's two-out grand slam has made it 4-0. Another inning upcoming for Brett Solano, and for more play-by-play, here's Scott McDonald.
And that probably makes Brett Solano, Joel Carranza's #1 fan, get a 4-0 lead as you come back out to the mound. That's a nice thing. We're going to the top of the fourth here. Willie Salas, Randall Coleman, and Nico Tony, the three scheduled hitters for Napa. The first pitch here, a strike, and it's 0-1. Salas walked his first time up in the first inning. The Diamonds and the Silverados, the Diamonds trying to pull back within one game of 500. If they can get this win tonight, here's the pitch. Square to bunt, bunted foul, and the count goes to 0-2.
A good fastball on the first one to get strike one, and then Willie, seeing that Brock was playing back fairly deep, so he tried to drop a bunt down. No good there, and Solano quickly ahead in the count, 0-2.
And those two strikes probably mean the end of his bunting career, at least this time at the plate. This pitch is a ball, 1-2.
Yeah, only the guys that are really, really sure about their bunting skills ever bunt with two strikes.
I wish I could remember who it was. We saw it once this year, and it was a good bunt with two strikes.
Well, I remember
but I can't recall who did it. This pitch is fouled away. On the Diamonds, I guess you might have Yuki Asuda give it a shot. But other than that, I don't know who you would have bunt with two strikes.
Well, sometimes in the major leagues, you do see the pitchers do it because they figure, well, he's not going to get a hit anyway.
Right.
So maybe on his third try, he can get the bunt down.
1-2 count. Solano looks in, and the 1-2 pitch is swung on a line down the left field line, foul, but he got a lot of that one, but he was very much foul.
Yeah, very much fooled by the speed of the pitch, squared it up, but that was fouled by a mile. 1-2 now.
One hit, one error for the Silverados, 3 hits, 1 error for the Diamonds, and most importantly, 4 runs on a grand slam from Joel Carranza. Solano looking in, and his 1-2 pitch is very high for a ball, and it's 2-2. The Diamonds and their metamorphosis from a team that did not hit any home runs at all and here they are in August, and they just can't stop hitting it over the fence. This one is lined down the left field line. It will fall in for a base hit, and it will go all the way to the wall. Back there is Quitzer, and coming up limp at second base is Salas, as he may have pulled some kind of hamstring or something. Rounding first, and Tito Fuentes Jr. is jogging out there to see what the situation is. Ricardo Rodriguez is going to talk to him as well, and we will get an idea of what happened, but it sure looked like a pulled muscle.
Yes, it did. Salas able to turn on that one and rip it down to the Lumpy's Diner sign in left field, but he made the turn at first and looked good until he took those first few steps after first base, and then just pulled up lame into second. They're going to check him out, and the Silverados hope that Willie's okay. Tried to bunt, couldn't do it. Silverados glad he didn't.
It's such an unfair injury because you just comes out of nowhere while you're running. You're just running between bases, and boom, you pull a muscle like that, and then you are. It becomes a problem. You don't want to come back too early because you can strain it again or pull it again. And he is making the decision about whether he wants to stay in the ball game, and that's a tough decision.
still out there behind second base, and they're going to check him out here and stretch him out here, and hopefully for the Silverados, he can stay in the game. Body language on Brett Solano says, "Oh, hurry it up."
You get a 4-0 lead, and he's going to throw a couple of pitches here to keep warm. And the Diamonds trainer working on Salas to see if he is, how severely injured he might be or what the problem is.
So a break in the action here as Willie Salas has doubled, but working on his left leg.
Now they're trying to corkscrew it out of place. Sometimes you wonder, is it exercise? Is it calisthenics? Is it stretching? Or is it torture? They're still over it, and he is out there stretched out, as you can see, in short center field, just on the outfield grass. And now he's going to get up, and let's see what the decision is. I'm guessing he's going to stay in. So Salas is going to stay in. He will be on at second base as he lined that ball down the left field line. It went all the way to the wall. Quitzer picked it off the fence and then threw it into second. But Salas was limping into second by that point after having done something to his leg. We don't know what. And apparently it wasn't too serious because he's staying in the game. A double to lead off the fourth inning, so the Diamonds get a 4-0 lead, and immediately they give up a double to the Silverados. Pitch to Coleman here is low. It gets back to the backstop. Javier goes to pick it up, and Salas, as gimpy as he might be, is able to take third.
Didn't look like that one bounced first, so I'm thinking that'll be a pass ball yielded by Javier. But either way, it's a free 90 feet, and Willie with nobody out aboard at third base, and Coleman a whole bunch of different ways he can get him in now.
Coleman popped out in the first inning, came into the game hitting .417. He only has 24 at bats, but .417 is still .417. That pitch is inside. 2 balls and no strikes.
We've had a chance to see him a few times, and he looks like he swings it pretty well.
Slightly open stance, left-handed batter. Here's a pitch. He fouls that one at the plate, and it's 2-1.
And they made a late decision to swing at that one as it was a bit low, and then just able to get a piece and top it off home plate.
It is a nice temperature. It's somewhat sticky. I think it's even a little humid here tonight. And, of course, we've got the smoke that everybody else in the Bay Area has. If you're listening to us or watching us from somewhere else, you may not be aware of the smoke issue. That pitch is swung on a miss. Strike 2.
All right, change up that time by Solano, and Kendall way out in front. He missed that one by a whole lot. Very fooled that time by Solano's pitch.
Salas on at third, nobody out. We are in the top of the fourth inning. It's 4-0 Pittsburgh. Brett Solano on the mound. The pitch to Coleman is swung on and fouled away. We are in the final 2 weeks. The final 2 weeks of the Pacific Association season are coming up. Actually, we're within the final 2 weeks of the regular season, which ends 2 weeks from yesterday. The Diamonds have a 2-game lead on Vallejo in third place in the Pacific Association standings. Vallejo's in fourth. Here's the pitch. Swung on him. It's strike 3.
Good pitch. Having one to give, Solano goes out of the strike zone down, and Coleman just cannot lay off. So he makes Coleman expand that strike zone far more than he wanted to, and he picks up that very important first out.
The Diamonds actually have a 2.5 game lead on Vallejo, and Napa is 3.5 games behind Vallejo, since Vallejo has already lost today, their 10th straight defeat to San Rafael. This pitch is swung on a loop to center field. It's going to be in for a base hit. Salas will come in to score, and it is 4-1 in favor of Pittsburgh.
Nice piece of hitting there, just right back up the middle. A little bit of top spin, so just did not stay up long enough for Brett Smith to have a chance. And a double, wild pitch, and a base hit. And all of a sudden, the 4-run lead down to 3.
Nick Kern will step in here. He popped out to the first baseman his first time up. Here's the pitch. Low for a ball. And that'll make it 1-0. The Diamonds have all but eliminated Martinez. Actually, they've got but 2 more games, and they will have eliminated Martinez as a competitor. Here's the pitch. It's a strike, and it's 1-1. But the Clippers believe that they still have a chance to get into the 4th place slot. 31-38 is Vallejo's record today. They are 8.5 games behind Vallejo with 12 to play. So Vallejo would have to continue to do a free fall, and Martinez would have to win them all, basically. But and while you're still alive, you're still alive.
Mathematically, anyway.
Right. Diamonds play Napa today, and then again tomorrow at 1 o'clock here at Winter Chevrolet Stadium. They have Monday off with the rest of the league, and then on Tuesday and Wednesday, they will welcome the Sonoma Stompers here for their final 2 games to visit Pittsburgh. And then they go on the road for 6 of their last 8 games. That pitch is fouled away. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Nick Kern with a runner at first base, a run in, and 1 out. Solano set. And the pitch is one that Kern thinks about offering up for, but he holds his bat back, and apparently he did, because the appeal to the field umpire comes back saying no swing. Counts now 2-2. At first base, Nico Tony. And if anybody looked like they're ready to run, it was Nico Tony. That pitch is a ball, 3-2. He is down in his crouch, and he looks like he is ready to go. Not at the moment, but he'll get out there. Solano, hand to mouth, and then gets his wide stance like that as he gets the signal for the pitch they're going to make. There you see Tony with his lead off of first base. Here's the pitch outside, ball 4, and now Kern is on at first base, and Tony goes down to second.
So the Diamonds not getting what they wanted here in the inning following the grand slam. You'll, of course, looking for that shutdown inning to keep your the momentum going. But the Silverados have already played at 1. And now, following that 1-run scoring, they've got a couple of runners on and mounting another threat.
And the biggest sin of all, a walk. There's a double and a single earlier in this inning, but a walk, of course, giving them a free base. When you've got a 3-run lead now, Dominic Bethencourt comes to the plate representing the tying run. Pitch is low for a ball. It's 1-0.
Valera at second, Garcia at short, kind of pinching over there towards second, looking for that double play ball. And then when Solano gets ready to throw, Valera kind of skips back to his normal position.
1-0 count. That pitch is ball 2. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
And Solano looked a little frustrated. The body language after missing with that fastball, he turned his back toward the catcher as Javier was ready to throw the ball back to him, and lucky he didn't, because Solano wasn't looking, and now the Diamond Battery will get together and talk things over.
Yeah, and I think Javier was out there specifically about frustration, trying to calm down Solano and get him to not be frustrated, focus on the next pitch, and you know, think about the task at hand. The task at hand is not easy. 2 balls and a strike on Bethencourt. Runners at first and second. There's 1 out. 1 run is scored. It is 4-1 in favor of Pittsburgh. They had a 4-0 lead coming into this inning, and it looked things were all cherry. This pitch is high for a ball, and now it's 3-0.
Yeah, and Bethencourt, no reason to swing. You got to make him throw at least 1 strike.
Sorry, we're still working.
Solano missing the strike zone with his last 3 pitches after walking Kern, so he started to look a bit frustrated.
3-0 pitch. That's ball 4, and they're loaded up. So that's the second walk in a row. Down to third base goes Tony. Down to second base goes Kern. And on at first base is Dominique Bethencourt. And Zach Taylor, the catcher, will come to the plate with 1 out. A double to open the inning, a strikeout, then a single and 2 walks. The bases are juiced, and here's the pitch. Swung and bounded right back up the middle. There's Garcia. He bobbles the ball at second, flips it to Rafael Valera, who cannot catch it, and everyone is safe. Garcia with a relatively easy play, it looked like, behind second base, could not make the play, and then in a rush tried to toss it to Valera. Valera cannot hold on to the ball. It was not an easy play. Let's take a look at the replay and see what happens here. There is Garcia trying to flip it to Valera. It gets past Rafael, and everyone is safe. The bases are still loaded, and a run has come in to score. It is 4-2. As Nico Tony crosses the plate. Nick Kern goes to third. Bethencourt to second. Zach Taylor on at first, and this pitch is swung and then lifted to left center field. It could be trouble. Quitzer coming in. He's underneath it now. He makes the catch, and in fact it is too short in left field to allow the runner at third base, Nick Kern, come to try to tag and score. So that is a break for the Diamonds there on that play, and the bases remain loaded.
You know, Yoshioka, when he first hit it, Scott, I thought that ball was going to be certainly deep enough to score the run from third, but it just kind of went up there and died. Turned out to be a very routine play for Quitzer, and when he made the catch, he was so close to the infield, there was no way Kern, the runner at third, could tag and score.
Ray Jones, the 8th Silverado to bat in this inning. And the Diamonds are hoping to sneak away with this with just 2 runs, because they got that second out right there. Jones, left-handed batter against the right-handed Solano. The pitch is a strike. It's 0-1.
Now, we said earlier at bat for Carranza with the grand slam, what a turning point of the game that was. Here's another one of those moments. 2 outs, bases loaded, 2 in here for the Silverados.
The Silverados in this inning. Here's a pitch, slow curveball for a strike, and it's 0-2. Did not give the Diamonds even half a second to enjoy that 4-0 lead. They came right back at Pittsburgh, and with a double to open the inning, they scored the first. They scored 2 runs. They're sitting here with the bases loaded at 4-2 Pittsburgh. There are 2 outs. Their leadoff hitter up here against Brett Solano with no balls and 2 strikes. Kern, Bethencourt, and Taylor on the bases. This pitch is grounded left side, base hit, left field, down the left field line. 1 run has scored. The second runner will score, Bethencourt. And now the Napa Silverados have tied the game at 4.
Boy, that one was lined hard down the left field line, hit the bag. Hit too hard for Bracamonte to make a play, and just like that's got a 4-4 tie and a big 2-out, 2 RBI base hit by Ray Jones, and we're all even.
There you saw Bracamonte making his effort, but he could not get the ball. It was smashed down past third base. And the Silverados don't think they're necessarily done. They've got runners at first and second, 2 outs, 4 runs in. Here's the pitch. It's a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Devin Ramirez is the 9th hitter in the inning for Napa. They didn't do it with all the glamour and excitement of a Grand Slam home run, but they pecked their way away, and now they've got 4 runs across the plate, and it's a brand new ball game at 4. This pitch is lined to center field. Comes in Brett Smith. It bounces in front of him. He picks it up. His throw is coming to the plate, and that will hold the runner at third base as Lashley comes across to cut it off. A single for Ramirez. The bases are loaded again. Down to second goes Jones, and on to third base is Zach Taylor.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 26.
Here's Willie Salas, who started the whole thing with a double. He would later score. He came up lame at second base. And turned out he was okay. Ended up scoring on Nico Tony's base hit.
So he will step up here for his second time in this inning, and he is walked and doubled so far in this game. He comes up with the bases loaded himself. It is 4-4. The pitch to Salas is a strike. It's 0-1. Salas led off with a double. Then Coleman struck out. Tony singled. Nick Kern walked. Dominic Bethencourt walked. And there's an error as Zach Taylor grounded out to the shortstop. This pitch is swung and fouled at the plate, and it's 0-2. Yoshioka with a short fly ball to left. The Diamonds kind of looked like maybe that was the break they needed and they might get out of the inning. But no, Jones singled. Ramirez singled. 4 runs have scored. The bases are loaded. It's an 0-2 count here on Willie Salas. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on him. It's strike 3, and the Diamonds have gotten out of a nightmare of a 4th inning. They give up 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 runners are left on base. We're going to the bottom of the 4th with the score: Pittsburg 4 and Napa 4.
Chicago Pizza is located in Pittsburgh, across the street from the Atlantic Plaza. Come and try the chicken or chicken pizza. You'll love it. One example of teamwork is a smoothly executed double play memorialized in the famous baseball poem Tinker's Havers to Chance.
Red's Barbershop. You know when it's time for a haircut, but you aren't really thrilled with the trim you've been getting? You'd like to find a new hair cutter, but it seems like a big hassle with too many choices and not enough information. We're giving you the take sign, as in take down this information. Call Red's Barbershop and make an appointment. Red has the skills and experience with all types of hair. He is great with the latest styles and still knows how to make you shine with more traditional haircuts. Call 925-382-1399 and make an appointment. That's 925-382-1399. Red's Barbershop is at 190 East 7th Street, just off Railroad Avenue in Old Town. Give Red a call today, 925-382-1399. Oh, sure, you'll ask for advice if you want some, but usually you know exactly how you want your business publications and handouts to look. That's where Paper Tiger Ready Print comes in. It is their mission to help you achieve your business goals, and that starts by listening to what you want and making it happen. At Paper Tiger Ready Print, they believe there is no greater satisfaction than delivering a finished product that helps a client reach their goals and objectives. Give them a try. You won't be disappointed. Paper Tiger Ready Print at 182 East Leland Road in Pittsburgh or ReadyPrint.com.
Nice shot of Winter Chevrolet Stadium from the center field camera. And the last time the Diamonds were dealing with being at the plate hitting, they were celebrating a grand slam by Joel Carranza that gave them a 4-0 lead in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Then coming back in the top of the 4th, Napa has come right back with 4 runs of their own, and we are tied at 4. Chris Quitzer will come to the plate with Steven Javier and Jose Garcia, the 3 scheduled hitters here to start the bottom of the 4th inning. Quitzer grounded out to third base his first time up. De Leon shakes off 2 signs, and now looks like he will accept the third. That pitch is a strike. It's 0-1.
Well, it was a short-lived 4-run lead.
Yes, it was.
New ball game.
The Napa Silverados have been very frustrated. Here's the pitch. It's low for a ball, and it is 1-1. I was talking to one of them after the game on Thursday night where the Diamonds had a walk-off victory after the Napas had come all the way back, taken the lead. Looked like they had their own dramatic type of come-from-behind victory. This pitch to Quitzer low, and he was just so frustrated because they've had that kind of game all week. They have been watching while Vallejo has lost 10 games in a row. They're trying to catch Vallejo for the last playoff position. They're 4 games back, but they have their own 4-game losing streak that they're on right now, and but to their credit, they have not stopped fighting during that period. This pitch is a ball, and it's 2 balls and a strike, and that's obvious today because they went down 4-0, came right back to tie the game. De Leon with a 2-1 count on Quitzer. The pitch is bounded to the left side to the third baseman Bethencourt. He picks it up, throws him out number 1.
You know, that can be a tough situation too. You're not playing well, and you get down, fairly early in the ball game. You give up the 2-out grand slam home run. You're down 4-0. Easy to kind of hang your head and go, here we go again. But then you look over at Vallejo and you go, God, they got it way worse than us.
Yeah. But they do have 4 games on them, and with 12 left to play, that 4 games gets bigger and bigger. That pitch is a strike. It's 0-1. The Diamonds 2 games ahead of Vallejo, who lost today, so a victory for the Diamonds would put them 3 games ahead of the Admirals in the race for 3rd place. The pitch from De Leon is low for a ball, and it's 1-1. The big prize out there for the 3rd place team is if the playoffs were held right now, the 3rd place team would play San Rafael, and then Aaron Miles has said that's exactly who they would prefer to play between San Rafael and Sonoma. That pitch is swung on, he says. Quitzer had gone for, not Quitzer, Javier, and so the count now is 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Javier trying to hold up on a pitch that really had him fooled, unable to do so.
The 1-2 pitch, swung on, bounded up the middle. Salas, the shortstop, has it, throws to first, out number 2. So Salas not showing any trouble on his defensive position either, since he pulled up lame on his way to second base last inning. Here comes Jose Garcia. He singled the lead off. He singled to start off that diamond rally in the 3rd inning. Came in to score on Carranza's grand slam. The pitch to Jose is outside for a ball. It's 1-0.
Jose able to square up his base hit last time and getting that 4-run inning started.
This pitch is low for a ball. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Thank you for joining us on Delta TV today and Mixler.com, and of course on the Pittsburgh Diamonds YouTube channel, the place to find the games streamed live. And of course you can always go to the website diamondsproball.com and just click away to get to either one of those broadcasts. But guess what? It's still Tony and me. Whether you get a picture or you don't get a picture, it's still us.
I got all these channels, but it's the same guys.
How do I get out of this 3-0 count? The 3-0 pitch to Garcia is ball 4, and he'll be on first base.
Base hit and a walk for Jose. The Diamonds certainly hope they can get him going and keep him going the rest of the season. He's had a tough year at the plate, but every now and then, Scott, he shows us signs of breaking out of it.
Right. And if he could just get a little bit of consistency, what an advantage and addition to the Diamonds offense that would be. got his lead now with Brett Smith up here. The pitch to Smith is a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Garcia, always a threat to steal, has his lead at first base.
Smith, of course, that 16-game hitting streak snapped yesterday.
Garcia back in.
Started July the 28th at the Stompers. He had 25 hits in the span, including a 3-hit game and a 4-hit game. And the average jumped 22 points.
That pitch gets away a little bit from the catcher, Taylor, but apparently not far enough for Garcia to make the decision to give it a go at second base. And for some reason, that will bring out Tito Fuentes Jr. He, as we discussed, likes to have these conversations about balls and strikes when he feels like things aren't going well. De Leon is out there, and he's going to give a little throw a strike pep talk, I guess. Again, there's no one warming up.
What's the game plan? So. Throw a strike.
Throw a strike.
Yeah, I'm just a little surprised, Scott, that you know, the guy who pitches mostly in relief, you figure, you know, he's just not a guy used to going a lot of innings, so you might after the first couple just have somebody kind of nonchalantly tossing in the bullpen that can get ready fairly quick.
De Leon back up to the top of the mound. Takes a deep breath. Set to go. 2 balls, no strikes here to Brett Smith with Garcia on at first. 2 down. There goes Garcia. Here comes the pitch. It's high for a ball. The ball goes into center field. Garcia's going to try for third. Picked up by the center fielder Jones, and he's not going to make a throw. Jose is on at third, and the count. No, they call it a strike. It's 2-1.
Stolen base and a throwing error, so Garcia boarded third, albeit with 2 outs. But at least he's in scoring position, and of course, so many different ways he can score. So
head first slide there by Jose, and then down to third here, and no throw. So now Garcia on at third. Here's a pitch to Smith. It's high for a ball, and it's 3-1. Diamonds and Napa tied at 4. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Two outs. The 3-1 pitch. Swung on, lifted right to the shortstop, Salas, who makes the throw to first in time. It was a bounding ball, a very high chopper to Salas. He had to wait for it to come down and had to hurry his throw with Smith making his way down the first base line, but he did it in time, and that does it for the Diamonds here in the 4th. The Diamonds get a walk. They get Garcia all the way to third, but that is all they can do. And so at the end of 4 full, the score 4-4.
Nick's Sandwiches. Want to tailgate in City Park before the next Diamonds home game? Nick's Sandwiches is a great place to start. Everything you need for a big crew of hungry fans, or a tasty lunch on the Delta, or a quick grab of coffee and a bite to eat on the way to work. Nick's Sandwiches is in Old Town Pittsburgh on Railroad Avenue across from the marina. Eating at the Diamonds' favorite deli is as satisfying as a 3-run homer. Start your pregame warm-up at Nick's Sandwiches, 315 Railroad Avenue in Old Town. One example of teamwork is a smoothly executed double play memorialized in the famous baseball poem, Tinkers to Evers to Chance. Another example of great teamwork is the Pittsburgh Chamber of Commerce. MyPittsburghChamber.org brings together the many and varied businesses that make up the local economy and forges them into a community force that is focused on economic development, advocacy, partnerships, and workforce development. The Pittsburgh Chamber is making a difference. Even if your business doesn't leave you the time to get personally involved, your membership contribution will advance the cause. Visit mypittsburghchamber.org today.
Kendall Coleman, Nico Tony, Nick Kern, those are the 3 scheduled hitters here to lead off the top of the 5th inning. 4-4 is our score. 5 hits for the Silverados, 3 for the Diamonds. Each team has 2 errors. And Brett Solano got a 4-0 lead and then promptly gave Napa 4 runs right back. This pitch is a ball that's 1-0. According to our screen, he has thrown 54 pitches here as he goes in the 5th inning, which is a reasonable amount. This pitch to Coleman is a strike, and it's 1-1.
Anything below 60 at this point, you're doing pretty well. You would call that economical.
Exactly. This pitch to Coleman is lifted and to right center field for a base hit as Rafael Valera made a leap to try to stop the ball, but he couldn't quite get that high. And so now there's going to be a runner at first and nobody out. That is Coleman's first hit of the day. Now comes Nico Tony.
Kendall just kind of punched that into right field. A loud crack off the bat, but just kind of floated over Valera's outstretched glove.
Runner at first. This is fouled away as Tony squares to bunt. That's an interesting decision with the runner at first and the big inning that they just had, but they decided to apparently sacrifice or try to sacrifice Coleman to second. Maybe they thought Tony could get a base hit with a bunt, though he is a catcher. That's not your usual strategy. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch inside for a ball. It's 2-2. Two count. There's a discussion going on down in the bullpen for the Diamond pitchers, but no one has gotten up to throw. Solano to the plate, and this ball is lifted high and foul, and it's going to be out of play.
Boy, all the way out to Railroad Avenue. Well foul, but that ball struck extremely well. If you hear some skids, that's the cars trying to get out of the way.
Solano set to go now. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nico Tony. The pitch swung on and lifted, foul, and against the fence over here. Nobody out. Runner at first base. 4-4 in the top of the 5th. Solano likes it. Pitches. Strike 3 called.
A good breaking ball on the outside corner. Nico looked back at the home plate umpire and just like, oh no. But, might have been a pitcher's strike on the block, but still, with 2 strikes, you got to be swinging at one that close.
Yeah. Nick Kern will come up here. He walked in the 4th inning and popped out to the first baseman back in the 2nd. Brett Solano cruised for the first 3 innings here, giving up 1 hit in those 3 innings. That pitch is a strike. It's 0-1. And then he had a 4-run lead, compliments of Joel Carranza's grand slam in the 4th and the bottom of the 3rd. And then the top of the 4th, all hell broke loose, and 4 runs were scored for Napa, and they tied the score at 4. Here's the next pitch. Is ground ball to Garcia. Pick it up, throw to second for 1. On the first, bounces to the first baseman. Lashley can't get it. It gets behind him, and safe at first base will be Nick Kern.
Well, we got the lead runner this time, but the relay throw over to first, not a good one. Should have been another double play. Diamond's a chance at a couple double plays here so far. So no error will be charged. You can't assume the double play, but should be out of the inning. Instead, the Silverado's going to get at least one more chance.
With a runner at first, 2 outs. Dominic Bethencourt will step in here. He walked last inning as well and flew out to left back in the second inning. Here's a pitch, swung on, lifted high and foul and out of play.
Of course, if you're Brett Solano, you know you're that situation. You feel you should be back in the dugout, but here's your chance to pick up your fielders.
Yeah, absolutely. And he has one of the points I was going to make is the throw to first base is not in time. He seems to be back in his steady form. That one bad inning, and it was bad, 4 runs. But this inning, except for the single to Coleman, which is going to happen, he has been on top of it and gotten good results. That throw is a lot closer, and diving back in is Nick Kern.
Yeah, that was really, really close that time.
Solano with Kern bent down, and here's the pitch, and it's a strike, and it's 0-2. And there has been an obvious and telling relaxation in the running game of the Napa Silverados, who would run at every opportunity early in the season, and they just aren't doing it like they did early on. Kern goes back to first base. He would have been gone several times by now. On the season, he has 28 stolen bases and 4 caught stealing.
Wonderful ratio.
That pitch is outside for a ball, and it's 1-2. And the throw goes down to first. Lashley is not aware of it, and it gets by him into right field. And coming in is Blatnick to pick it up. And down to second goes Kern.
Throwing error on Javier as Lashley just wasn't looking for the ball. We'll take another look at it here, but a free 90 feet. Now the potential go-ahead run in scoring position, when by rights the inning should be over.
Yeah, Lashley was totally unprepared for that throw to first base and surprised by it. And as you could tell, his effort to catch it was late, and the ball went on into right field. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 3. So, Brett Solano is back. He gives up a base hit. He has a double play go south on him, but he comes through even after the ball goes into right field and allows the runner to get to second. He ends the inning with a strikeout on Bethencourt. We're going to the bottom of the 5th with the score. The Diamonds 4, the Silverados 4.
Libraries are community centers, and truly the community comes and uses them. They're here for anybody who walks in the door. It's important for people to have a connection to their community because it makes you feel like you belong. Mechanics Bank really values their relationship. They actively reach out with an open hand to nonprofits. Mechanics Bank doesn't just show up and say that they're going to do something. They actually follow through. They're not just a partner in name, they're a partner in person. My name's Kristen Anderson. I'm the Executive Director of the Walnut Creek Library Foundation, and I'm a mechanic.
Are you looking for a community-based establishment that will provide a fun and exciting environment for your family? Certainly Diamonds Baseball is one, and no doubt Lumpy's Diner is another. Before or after the game, eating at Lumpy's Diner or Lumpy's Diner Express can make for a great doubleheader. And if you want to win a road game, LD's Catering will make your event a hit no matter the location. Lumpy's Diner is a homegrown sensation, world famous since 2008. Bring your family to ours.
The bottom of the 5th inning here at Winter Chevrolet Stadium. The Diamonds and the Silverados tied at 4. And Morgan Blatnick, Gabriel Bracamonte, and Mr. Grand Slam, Joel Carranza, are scheduled to come to the plate. Christopher De Leon back out doing his warm-ups for Napa. he got that talking to by Tito Fuentes Jr. last inning, and that apparently was exactly what the doctor ordered. All right, his warm-ups are complete. The throw to second base eats up Yoshioka. Mr. Blatnick will come to the plate. He reached on an error in the third inning and scored on the grand slam. He's got his Birdman bat in his hand. As we said, Ram Shah, the owner of the Diamonds, bought the team each their Birdman bat. So they've got the orange kind of base of the bat down there. The handle is black. And a funny picture of Birdman on the label. The pitch is a strike. It's 0-1. We need to get a picture of a Birdman bat. Perhaps we can do that. If we can't get one today, we'll get one for tomorrow's game. And another thing that we want to see, this pitch is high for a ball, and it is 1 ball and 1 strike. The pregame show in Sonoma, which we did, just for Mixler, because we don't stream the games from the away games, because the Diamonds don't control the ownership of those games. Here's a pitch. Swung on grounded, bite back to De Leon. He's got it. Underhand flip to first is out number 1. But wearing his World Series ring was Aaron Miles for that pregame show, and I said, we didn't get the pregame show in today, but I said, you got to wear that ring so we can get a shot of it when we're on TV. So we will try to do that tomorrow. Hopefully he'll have it with him.
Very cool indeed. The 2006 Cardinals. That was one of those teams that going into the playoffs kind of was one of the teams that really wasn't thought about a whole lot.
This pitch popped up foul and out of play.
One of the teams that kind of sneaks up on you every now and then and gets hot at the right time, and they did. I think, Scott, they only won like 86 or 87 ball games that year.
The Diamonds are trying to be that team in the Pacific Association, except I can tell you this. Here's a pitch. It gets by Bracamonte. They're not sneaking up on anybody. We were in Sonoma last night, and the Stompers, of course, have played their way into first place. But everybody in Sonoma was telling me that they don't want to play the Diamonds in the playoffs. They think the Diamonds are too hot at the moment, and also the games with the Diamonds are just too much of a grueling battle, and they are. That pitch is low for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. It's every game with Sonoma, especially in Sonoma, it seems, is just a battle back and forth. And before last night, despite the fact Sonoma dominates the season record, this pitch is grounded up the middle. Salas comes over. He scoops it up and throws him out. Despite the fact that Sonoma has dominated the season record, the Diamonds had scored 6 more runs than the Stompers in head-to-head competition. And then the Diamonds lost last night 8-2, so now the two teams are dead even in runs scored.
It's funny how sometimes you look at those stats and they just don't make sense.
Right. Christopher De Leon greeting Joel Carranza to the plate with a ball. It's 1-0. Last time De Leon saw Carranza, the ball was leaving the stadium and a grand slam had been hit by the Diamonds' veteran designated hitter. This pitch is swung on and fouled away to the right side, and it's 1-1.
Nice looking cut at that one, just a bit late. But right now, Joel, with his heroics 2 out of these last 3 nights, swinging a very hot bat. And the guy that the Diamonds expected when he joined the team later in the season this year.
1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 pitch to Carranza is swung on, and he lifts this one high left field. Over comes Coleman, and he will make the catch for out number 3. That's it for the Diamonds here in the bottom of the 5th inning as they go down quietly. 1-2-3. We'll be back for the top of the 6th with the score. Pittsburgh 4 and Napa 4.
Little Jays. The handcrafted burgers are sensational. The generous sandwiches are delicious. The hand-carved tri-tip is the best in town. Getting hungry? You probably already know where to go to find these food treasures. Little Jays in Pittsburgh. Since 2003, Little Jays has been rewarding those smart enough to stop in for a meal. They can also cater your next event. On Loveridge Road, it's Little Jays Restaurant. Hampton by Hilton. Road trips can be grueling, which is why baseball teams are happy to split their road games. But there's one way to guarantee a win on the road. That's by staying at Hampton Inn by Hilton. Fresh, up-to-date accommodations include a hearty cooked breakfast to get you off to a good start on the day. Known for low-end prices and high-end service, a stay at Hampton Inn by Hilton means you can earn points in the valuable Hilton Honors Program. You can find a Hampton Inn by Hilton in Pittsburgh and Brentwood.
Well, we're going to go to the 6th inning here, and Brett Solano has returned to the mound. Face these Napa Silverados another time. Zach Taylor, Drake Yoshioka, and Ray Jones will come to the plate. So far tonight, Taylor has reached on an error, and he has grounded out to third base. This pitch is a ball. It's 1 ball and no strikes. That error was a big play when the Diamonds thought they might get out of that inning in the 4th, but the ground ball to second base. Pitch had popped up that Garcia couldn't handle, and then tried to throw to Valera in the last second, and he couldn't handle that toss, and ended up getting nobody. Solano. That pitch is low for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Solano just missing with the 2 balls that he's thrown in this at bat. Both just off the outside part of the plate, but quality pitches nonetheless from the Diamonds right-hander.
Here's a pitch from Solano, swung on and fouled at the plate. Count goes to 2-2.
There's Cam Hatch down in the Diamond bullpen, and boy, Scott, he has got some nice streak going for himself right now. He has been very tough to deal with for opposing batters.
He has been. It's interesting that he would be throwing now. I'm not sure what that means about what the Diamonds think about who their closer is or who they want their closer to be. That pitch is high and inside for a ball, and the count goes full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Or do they need to have a closer? Maybe they just want to use their pitchers as the situation warrants.
There are lots of different ways to do it. The last many years kind of settled into those very strict roles, but Sergio Romo and the Devil Rays just turned that up on its head this year, and for a while it was working well.
This pitch is grounded right at Garcia. He makes the play, throws him out. Out number 1.
It was a well-pitched at-bat by Brett Solano. Even the pitches that he missed with, he didn't miss by a whole lot, and then ends up getting the routine ground ball to shortstop.
Number 17, Drake Yoshioka.
Stepping in here, Yoshioka. He singled in the 3rd and flew out. He had a very short fly ball into Quitzer in left field that did not score a run. That pitch bounces up there for a ball, and it is 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah, that turned out to be a big play in this ball game.
So the Diamonds enjoy an 8-4 advantage over Napa on the season coming into today's game. This ground ball to the right side of Valera. He scoops it up and throws him out. That's out number 2.
Great start to the inning there. A couple of nice pitches, getting those routine ground balls. Easy for Valera, and quickly 2 down.
Diamonds are 3-3 at home and 5-1 on the road against the Silverados. They have 16 games against each squad, so that does not mean that they've clinched the season series. And of course, they're in this battle with Vallejo and Napa for the final 2 playoff positions. And if there were a tie, that season head-to-head matchup would come into play. Here's a pitch to Jones. A strike, it's 0-1. Leadoff hitter is 1 for 3 on the day. So there's importance in winning one of the next 3 games, and might as well be this one against Silverados, and that would clinch the season series. No balls and 1 strike. Top of the 6th inning, it's 4-4. This pitch is Jones tried to hold up, but he swung, and it's going to be 0-2.
Ray tried to stop that swing, unable to do so. Down to the count, 0-2, and just 1 strike away now for Solano from a 1-2-3 frame.
Solano shakes off a sign. Rapidly comes to the plate. Ground ball to the right side. Valera comes over to get it. Throw to first. Got him. 1, 2, 3 go the Silverados here in the top of the 6th inning. We're going to the bottom of the 6th with the score. Napa 4 and Pittsburg 4.
Anytime we have a conversation with Mechanics Paint, we know that we're in the same business. Our business is customer service, integrity, loyalty, friendship. Mechanics clearly establishes a high level of tradition, honesty, integrity that comes through in all their transactions. I trust them with everything. I know that they're there for us. My name is Paul Irwin. I'm a mechanic.
The 90 feet between third base and home plate is some of the most important real estate in sports. That's why a coach is located there to help runners navigate the valuable turf. There is help for you, too, when you need to navigate real estate issues. Kroski Real Estate in Pittsburgh has been building strong communities since 1946. The family-owned and operated business is an expert on commercial property management, real estate sales, and residential property management. Kroski Real Estate is on Railroad Avenue in Old Town, Pittsburgh. When you are making the turn for home, get the help you need from Kroski Real Estate.
Okay, we're going to the bottom of the 6th inning here in Muncher Chevrolet Stadium. 4-4 is the score, and the Diamonds will face Chris DeLeon again. Both DeLeon and Solano have had 1 inning where things kind of got out of hand, but they have survived that, and their team has provided them with the equal amount of runs. And so as we go into the bottom of the 6th, it is 4-4, and both DeLeon and Solano are looking stronger rather than weaker.
You look at all those zeros right around those 4s, and it kind of makes you wonder what happened in those innings. It didn't happen in the other innings.
Ryan Lashley, Rafael Valera, and Chris Quitzer for the Diamonds here in the bottom of the 6th. 4-4 is the score. DeLeon steps up to the top of the mound, and he will face Lashley, who has singled his last time up, struck out the time before that. DeLeon winds and delivers. The pitch is swung and bound to left side, foul down past third base.
Boy, it almost sounded like a broken bat, too. Wondering if the bat survived that one. Apparently it did. Lashes picked it up and didn't even test it out, so apparently I'm hearing things. Everything's okay with the lumber.
DeLeon, it says only 6 foot 160, but he has a lot of moving parts when he winds up and throws that pitch, and this looks like there's more of that body coming at you. That pitch is swung and foul tipped, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, I think the term is herky-jerky. Never been one of my favorite terms, but That's the way they usually describe it. Got a lot of elbows and knees.
That can work to the pitcher's advantage is the pitch. And trying to hold up with Lashley, but he offered at it, and it's going to be strike 3. You don't know where the ball's actually coming from. You got all this body parts coming at you.
Now batting number 2,
Rafael Valera will come up here. He was taken out of last night's game, apparently because of a sore arm after he had a wild throw to first base. And I ran into him after the game. We've had a short conversation. I asked him how he was feeling and would he be playing today. He said yes. And here he is stepping in. He's 0 for 2 on the day, playing second base tonight. Here's a pitch, swung on, and that's popped up on the left side of the infield. Salas is over at shortstop position, and he is just about on the outfield grass, making the catch for out number 2.
Now batting number 6.
Good looking inning so far here for Chris DeLeon. Couple of very routine plays. They're looking to turn the Diamonds away here with another 1-2-3 innings, trying to make it back-to-back 1-2-3 innings. And in the previous inning, in the 4th, he faced just 1 over the minimum. So he, since that grand slam, Scott, has really turned things around.
Here's a pitch to Chris Quitzer, and it's low and inside for a ball. It's 1-0. Now we've got double barrel activity going in the Diamonds bullpen. Cam Hatch, the left-hander, and the right-hander Alex Leach. But Solano, much like De Leon, has been looking stronger rather than weaker in the recent innings. Here's a 1-0 pitch. That's a ball. 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, after the rest of that third, following the grand slam, De Leon struggled a little bit, gave up a couple of base hits. But after that, it's just 1 over the minimum in the last 3 innings.
The 2-0 pitch swung on and fouled away, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
I think that one went for tacos.
Vallejo lost today already, their 10th loss in a row. And they are just clinging to 4th place. Here's the pitch. That's a ball. 3 balls and 1 strike. Excuse me. And the team that is most interested in that, of course, is these Napa Silverados. Here's a pitch to Quitzer, swung on ground ball right side, and it's going to be foul. Count will go full at 3-2.
Healthy cut by Quits, but just way on top of the ball that time. Unfortunate that it did not stay fair. Would have been an easy play over there at first base for Devin Ramirez. And Jose De Leon has just really found his stride right now and turning this into a good start. Albeit that he's given up that grand slam.
In the top of the 4th, Sonoma is leading Martinez 4-0. Pitch to Quitzer is fouled away. 2 outs, nobody on. We are here in the bottom of the 6th inning in a tie ball game.
Cascade of Skittles.
De Leon winds and delivers the pitch low and inside for a ball, and Quitzer is on.
Well, if nothing else, it just kind of breaks the rhythm of De Leon, who's just all of a sudden been mowing down the Diamonds. So they pick up the walk here. Let's see if Javier can keep it going for Jose Garcia, who's having a pretty nice day at the plate so far.
Stephen Javier popped out and grounded out. Quitzer on at first base. 2 down. Tie ball game. Here's a pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. De Leon kind of hugs the ball against his chest as he gets the side. 0-1 count. The 0-1 pitch is low for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Here you got Yoshioka. Seems like he's cheating up the middle here a little bit. And of course, Ramirez over at first. Holden Quitzer on the bag. Big hole on that right side.
1-1 count, the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and lifted to the right side. The first baseman, Ramirez, thinks he's got a chance at it. He makes the catch in foul ground, and that does it for the Diamonds here in the 6th. They get a walk, and that's it. We're going to inning number 7 with the score. Pittsburg 4 and Napa 4.
All right, you guys, it's going to be like we were at a wedding. Okay, everybody help me out.
If you've been there before, you know when your car breaks down on the freeway, you want quick, reliable service. You want All Counties Tow. With 20 years of experience, 7 locations in Northern California, and 50 trucks, All Counties Tow is the one to count on when you need roadside help. You can find them at allcotow.com or phone 925-709-0759 for fast, dependable service. Easy and painless. All Counties Tow. Red's Barbershop. You know when it's time for a haircut, but you aren't really thrilled with the trim you've been getting? You'd like to find a new hair cutter, but it seems like a big hassle with too many choices and not enough information. We're giving you the take sign, as in take down this information. Call Red's Barbershop and make an appointment. Red has the skills and experience with all types of hair. He is great with the latest styles and still knows how to make you shine with more traditional haircuts. Call 925-382-1399 and make an appointment. That's 925-382-1399. Red's Barbershop is at 190 East 7th Street, just off Railroad Avenue in Old Town. Give Red a call today, 925-382-1399.
Well, the Diamonds need the magic of the 7th, 8th, or 9th innings because they did not have any magic in the 4th, 5th, and 6th. And so we're going to hand things over here to Tony and see if he can bring the Diamonds home to victory.
4-leaf clovers being passed out. And the Diamonds, you talk about a couple of pitchers matching each other. Chris DeLeon and Brett Solano for Brett, gave up those 4 runs. That was in the top of the 4th. And for DeLeon, he gave up his 4 runs. That was in the bottom of the 3rd. So one following the other, and then other than that, they're putting up nothing but zeros. So here's Devin Ramirez to lead it off as we go to the top half of the 7th inning. A 4-4 tie here from Winter Chevrolet Stadium. And Ramirez, Willie Salas, and Kendall Coleman. And that pitch is low, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Base hitting 3 trips so far for Devin. Trying to get things started for the Silverados here as we are officially into the late innings of the ball game. Pitch number 74 coming up for Solano, way inside. And Devin dancing out of the way of that one. The count goes 2-0. So Chris DeLeon, after serving up the grand slam to Joel Carranza, has really settled down. In fact, he's retired 10 of 13 since then. And for Brett Solano, after giving up his 4s, put up a couple of zeros. And the pitch, and this one way inside for a ball. The count 3 balls and no strikes. Cameron Hatch has been throwing for a while down there in the Diamond bullpen. The left-hander should be ready to go. It does continue to loosen up down there. Goes down the right field line here at the ballpark. 3 balls and no strikes. 4 runs, 5 hits, couple of errors for Napa. This one inside, ball 4. So Devin Ramirez will get the leadoff walk here, and that'll bring up Willie Salas. 4 runs, 3 hits, 3 errors for the Diamonds. Where the Diamonds failed to get the back end of a double play earlier, and Solano was able to pitch around that and picking up those last couple of zeros. So now Javier wants to talk to Brett. And the Silverados will have their own conversation. Good ball game again here from Pittsburg. And we've had so many of them. Things going on here tomorrow as well. Same two teams, 1 o'clock afternoon ball game. Should be a whole lot of fun. Lots going on here at Winter Chevrolet Stadium. Be part of it. Here's Willie Salas, a walk back in the first inning. Doubled and scored in the fourth. Got a second at bat in that 4-run Silverado fourth inning, and he struck out his second time. So far, 1 for 2 and a walk for Salas showing bunt. Here comes the third baseman, Bracamonte, charging hard. Salas pulls back and he takes ball 1 ball and no strikes. Bracamonte still on that infield grass, continues to back up. Salas showing bunt again, bunts at it, and off the plate it goes for strike 1. And the count goes 1 ball and 1 strike. And the soccer guys over there, well, they're having some fun. They've got things going, a lot of cheering going on over here, over there. We got a good ball game going on over here. Solano ready. And the 1-1 pitch, and that is just low in the count. 2 balls and 1 strikes to Willie Salas with Kendall Coleman waiting on deck. Diamonds beating the Silverados the other night in walk-off fashion. And the 2-1 pitch, that is bunted. That fouled off the plate again, and the count goes 2-2.
Boy, Bracamonte had a long way to run from third base. He was charging on that as soon as Salas squared the bunt.
So Salas trying to bunt the potential go-ahead run into scoring position here for Kendall Coleman. Finding it difficult to do so, and he's even in the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner with his lead. Solano will chase him back with a soft toss. Where Cameron Hatch looks like he's gotten about 3 days worth of warm-up tosses down there. Still throwing some hard, but he has got to be ready to go when needed. 2-2 pitch. Here it is. That one is low, and then Solano fell down after delivering that pitch. Let's see if he's okay.
That was strange. You know, there's a landing spot that they hit all the time, generally the same spot. And he's now doing some work, as you can see, to try to make that spot more friendly, but should have been friendly by now.
Well, let's see if the landscaping did the trick. 3-2 count now due to Willie Salas, who could not lay down the bunt. 3-2 inside, ball 4, so that works out exactly, well, maybe not exactly, but it certainly works out in favor of Napa. Instead of getting the sacrifice, they're going to get the second walk of the inning, and now the first 2 have reached here, and here comes Aaron Miles, and you got to figure he's bringing the hook. Get the left-hander Coleman coming up. You get the left-hander Cam Hatch greased up and ready to go, and he has been fantastic. And that will be it for Brett Solano. Pitching change here at Winter Chevrolet Stadium. We'll break away here for a moment and come back and tell you about what a great year Cam Hatch is having. Be back to Winter Chevrolet Stadium in just a moment. right, Cam Hatch, the left-hander, into the ball game. He's going to inherit from Brett Solano 2 runners, 6+4 runs so far, 5 hits for Solano. Can't close the book, but Cam Hatch, well, he has come as advertised, and the guy the Diamonds have learned to really rely on.
He has been outstanding, and but there's a point I wanted to make, though, about Brett Solano. He had that one bad inning where the roof seemed to fall in, but when he leaves the game here, he does have 2 runners on, but he could very well have gone into the 7th inning, given up 4 runs, and when you have a pitcher who day in and day out gives up 3-4 runs, you always have a chance to win the game, and that's really what you can ask of a pitcher, and Solano has done it again here. Cam Hatch has come in, and he has learned to shut the door on the opposing team, and not only does he shut the door, he does it as a left-hander, which the Diamonds need, and it's going to be a big situation here with lefty on lefty, with runners at first and second and nobody out.
Well, 9 straight appearances, he has not given up a run. So Hatch has been very tough out of the bullpen. Aaron Miles going to go with the lefty-lefty matchup here. So Coleman has a chance. 2 on, nobody out. We're all tied at 4. Big spot here in the top of the 7th. Hatch ready, and instead he's going to turn and look back towards second base. So Cam, in most of these outings, has gone an inning or less, but does have a couple of outings where he's gone 2. So he certainly gives Aaron some flexibility out there on the mound. And the pitch, and this one's bunted out and fouled off, and the count goes 0-1.
So the Silverados still have bunt on the brain, even though they got a walk to move the runner up to second base. And they've got a big hitter in Coleman up there, but he couldn't come through, and he fouled that ball off.
Cameron Hatch with those very nice looking statistics. This one bunted at, put down, and that is going to bounce and take an exit stage left. And the count going to go no balls and 2 strikes here. So a couple of times here the Silverados have tried to bunt. Willie Salas tried to do it a couple of times. Couldn't get it down, but he walked. And now Coleman tries to do it. Can't put it down. He's down to the count 0-2.
Cam, here we go, babe.
That's an important part of baseball. When you're asked by your team to bunt, to sacrifice bunt, that's an important part of a ball game. And the Silverados have not been able to pull it off.
Here's the next one, swung on, ground ball, base hit left field. Here comes the runner around third. He will score without a throw. And the Silverados can't bunt, but they can drive in the go-ahead run, and it's 5-4 in favor of Napa.
I should have kept my mouth shut.
Kendall Coleman gets the go-ahead RBI.
When have I ever done that?
And it's 5-4, so the 2 walks come back to hurt. Runners at first and second now. Still can't close the book for Brett Solano. The runner, Willie Salas at second base, still his responsibility as Ramirez has scored the go-ahead. So Kendall Coleman comes through with the RBI base hit, and there's still nobody out, and now the Diamonds and Hatch have to deal with Nico Tony. And he looks at a fastball in there. A strike count, 0-1.
That was a nice pitch. Javier almost threw that ball to center field on the return throw.
Strikeout looking last time for Nico. He does have an RBI base hit and a run scored. Here's the pitch, bunts it off the plate and foul, but oh no. 0-2, he couldn't bunt. Now he's apparently got the Diamonds right where he wants them.
Apparently so.
Chavez, looks like Kyle Chavez down there, number 4, the right-hander, getting loosed for Pittsburgh. But right now it's Cam Hatch against the Silverados. 1 run already in, 2 on it, nobody out. Top half of the 7th from Pittsburgh. Lights are on. And the pitch, this one, ground ball left side, tough hop. Bracamonte can't handle it. It'll roll out to short left field. Garcia picks it up, but a run is going to score. The Diamonds don't get an out here. That was a tough play. We'll see how they score it, but Brock was come over there and looked like he had a chance to make the play, kind of in between hops that time, and couldn't come up with the baseball.
He got the error.
So no RBI for Nico Tony as he reaches on the E5. And here comes Kern now, 2 on still. And now 2 runs in. It's 6-4 in favor of Napa, and both walks have scored.
Yeah, and here's a bunt attempt.
Here's one over to third, picked up by Bracamonte, fires over to first, not in time. Boy, we saw one earlier take the exit stage left. This one takes an exit stage right, or an entrance stage, entrance stage right, as it stayed fair. Bracamonte made a nice play, but not able to get the speedy Kern down at first base, and there it is. Bunt base hit for Nick Kern, and the bases are loaded, and the Diamonds already have yielded the lead 6-4, and they are really in the soup right now. Still nobody out here in the frame. So a walk to Ramirez, a walk to Salas. They have both scored. RBI base hit as Cameron Hatch came in. That was Kendall Coleman who got that. Tony reached on the E5. Bunt base hit here for Nick Kern, and they are loaded for Bethencourt with nobody out. Hatch looks in, here's the pitch, swung on, and this one is going to be fouled off. Lifted to the right side, and boy, that one into the Diamond bullpen. Actually never did hit the fence. But no chance for the Diamonds to make a play, and the count 0-1.
Diamonds apparently will give away a run if they can get a double play, but down 6-4 in the 7th. That's a risky strategy.
Not what you really want to be doing, but you risk the really, really big inning if you don't. Here's the 0-1, swung on, lashed right side and foul, and now Cameron Hatch obviously pitching for the strikeout. That would be the huge play here. Strikeout and then the double play. That would be perfect. And of course, so would the winning lottery ticket. Cam Hatch trying to get Bethencourt. Taylor waits on deck. Nowhere to put Dominic. Here's the pitch way up high, and the count 1-2. So 2 runs in the inning already for the Silverados. 7 hits, a couple of errors. 4-3-4 for the Diamonds, and defense the last couple of nights, Scott, has just not helped Pittsburgh.
That was the point I was going to make, and there have been points this season where that has been a problem, and it has been concentrated the last 2 nights.
Hatch taking a long time now. The 1-2 pitch swung on it, missed strike 3. Good fastball right by Bethencourt. And the Diamonds in this situation get what they want, and that is the strikeout. Now, if they can get that double play, they could get out of this without any further damage. And looking ahead to the 7th, they would start it off with Garcia and then back to the top of the order for Brett Smith. So the Diamonds, well, if they could get out of this with no more run score, they would be feeling very good about themselves, but still only 1 out in the inning.
That would be huge, but 2-run game, of course, is just, it feels like there's been so much more damage.
Beautiful curveball, just does miss, and the count 1-0. Boy, that was a good-looking breaking ball from Cameron Hatch. If that's a 2-strike count, I guarantee you the hitters are swinging. 1-0 pitch. Fastball. Bounding ball to short. Garcia has it. Only play to first, and he makes it over to first base for out number 2. But on the play, Kendall Coleman comes in to score. So Zach Taylor, he is out, but he will pick up an RBI on that 6-3 putout, and that makes the score 7-4 now in favor of the Silverados. So both runners move up, and Yoshioka going to get a chance now.
There's that high chopper, and you're right, Garcia only had one play. That was the first base. Get the out. They're now down by 3 runs, but
the strike to Yoshioka. Both runners moved up. The runners now at second and third. So Yoshioka really could put a stranglehold on this game if he can single in 2 right now and make it a 5-run lead. Left-handed batter waits, lefty-lefty matchup, and this one in there, a strike. And the diminutive Yoshioka probably thinking that one was a little high, but he did not get the call on what certainly was a pitcher's strike. No balls, 2 strikes. Hatch looking in, Cam ready. And the 0-2 swung on and missed strike 3. So 3 runs in the inning. Cameron Hatch allows both the inherited runners to score, one of his own, but it could have been a lot worse. It wasn't good, but it could have been a whole lot more. The Diamonds going to stretch it out now as we go to the 7th inning stretch. Diamonds trail it 7-4.
Oh, sure, you'll ask for advice if you want some. But usually you know exactly how you want your business publications and handouts to look. That's where Paper Tiger Ready Print comes in. It is their mission to help you achieve your business goals, and that starts by listening to what you want and making it happen. At Paper Tiger Ready Print, they believe there is no greater satisfaction than delivering a finished product that helps a client reach their goals and objectives. Give them a try. You won't be disappointed. Paper Tiger Ready Print at 182 East Leland Road in Pittsburgh or readyprint.com. Nick's Sandwiches. Want to tailgate in City Park before the next Diamonds home game? Nick's Sandwiches is a great place to start. Everything you need for a big crew of hungry fans, or a tasty lunch on the Delta, or a quick grab of coffee and a bite to eat on the way to work. Nick's Sandwiches is in Old Town Pittsburgh on Railroad Avenue across from the marina. Eating at the Diamonds' favorite deli is as satisfying as a 3-run homer. Start your pregame warm-up at Nick's Sandwiches, 315 Railroad Avenue in Old Town.
All right, to the 7th inning, the bottom of the 7th inning we go. Diamonds trail it by 3. It's 7-4 in favor of the Silverados. And you can close the book on Brett Solano. 6+, 6 runs, 5 hits. Cameron Hatch, well, he goes, inherited 2 runners, allowed both of them to score, and allowed one of his own to score. And that broke a streak of 12 innings over 9 appearances where he had not given up a run. So it's kind of last couple of days, a lot of streaks for the Diamonds coming to an end, but still you got to hand it to Cameron Hatch, who had been pitching so well. But it is the Silverados out to the 3-run lead here as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Garcia, Brett Smith, and Morgan Blatnick to take on Chris DeLeon.
well, you talk about streaks ending and you talk about recent games. The Diamonds last night would have been very happy to have a 3-run differential as they went to the final frames. They lost that game 8-2, and that 6-run difference was more than they could overcome. 3 seems awfully easy.
Still got a lot of time left. 9 outs remaining here for Pittsburgh. And let's see what they can do. And they can get off the deck here after giving up the 3 spot in that last half inning.
And Garcia has been a catalyst.
Takes inside here. Count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. Base hit and a run scored in the 3rd for Jose, walking a stolen base. That was in the 4th. Love to be able to get Garcia going. The batting average still very low. But if he gets going, especially if they kept him down in that 9th spot, the 2-0 pitch upcoming, swung on. Last foul right side. Giving it a look over there is the first baseman Ramirez, but he runs out of room and the count 2-1. Looks like Alex Leach, the right-hander, has begun to throw in the Diamond bullpen, so.
He was up with Hatch earlier, and then Chavez was throwing, and now Leach is back up throwing.
2 balls, 1 strike to Garcia. Low and outside, ball 3. If you did get him going and you had him in that 9th spot, and then you were turning it over to guys like Brett Smith and Morgan Blatnick, that's a nightmare situation for the opposing pitcher. But of course, if you really got him going that much, a lot of times you'd see him move up in the order and trying to get him more at bats. 3-1 pitch, and Jose takes way outside, ball 4. And De Leon did a pirouette in frustration that time as he gives up the walk to the leadoff man here in the 7th after being given a 3-run lead.
Well, you know, he's had those talks from Tito Fuentes, and now Tito is coming out again to give another balls and strikes pep talk, I guess. And we're getting some activity in the Silverados bullpen.
That we are. Tito's been out there, never did reach out the hand. So it looks like De Leon is going to stay in the ballgame, and De Leon might just be pleading his case right now. I wasn't sure. I couldn't see if the relievers in the bullpen for Napa had already been warming up, or have they just gotten
They
out?
just started.
Okay, so it looks like the next batter, Brett Smith, will certainly belong to Chris De Leon, and it will. That was the 4th trip to the mound, I think is what Ricardo Rodriguez is motioning. He pointed over toward the Diamond dugout after saying that, and Paula, our PA announcer, quickly corrected him. So here's Brett Smith. Comes in with those fantastic numbers. And Smith, walk, a fly out, and a ground out so far for Brett.
Angel Mejia and Braulio Ortiz are throwing in the bullpen for Napa.
Diamonds need to get just one more guy aboard to bring that tying run to the plate here in the 7th. Here's the pitch. That one gets away momentarily, but Garcia, thinking the pitch had been caught, had already started to walk back toward first base. So he was in no position to try to take the extra 90 feet. Blatnick waits on deck. 1 ball, no strikes to Smith. The 1-0 way outside. That one bounces up there. The count goes 2 balls and no strikes. Told you Napa beaten bad yesterday. That their 4th straight loss. So talk about a team itching to get a victory. We've been talking about Vallejo being in that situation. And certainly they are, but Silverados there with them. Next pitch in there, a strike, and they count 2-1.
I'm thinking this could be De Leon's last batter, no matter what happens with Smith.
Smith waits, 2-1, inside, ball 3, 3 balls and 1 strike. 1 more out of the strike zone for bringing the tying run to the plate with nobody out.
There's Napa's bullpen where Ortiz and Mejia are getting ready.
3-1, swung on and missed, strike 2. San Rafael 15, Napa 4 yesterday. Angel Ventura ended up getting the win for San Rafael. Martin Cronin took the loss for the Silverados. Look back over there at first base. Is Garcia going to run on the 3-2 pitch? There he goes. Here's the pitch. Inside ball 4. And Brett Smith has got himself his second walk of the ball game. So Garcia starts it with a walk. Brett Smith gets a walk. Here comes Morgan Blatnick. Oh, it looks like the Silverado infield wants to talk it over. Tito Fuentes looks like he wants to ask the guys in the bullpen who's ready. Still has not gone out to the mound. But the Silverados are looking around like that's it for Chris DeLeon. And here comes Tito to make a change. And not in any hurry to do it.
No, he's not in. And the umpires aren't doing anything. You know, he wanders down to the bullpen and checks to how the bullpen is doing. And none of that is hurrying this game along. Now he has finally called for Ortiz to come in.
And none of that is hurrying this game along. That is very well put. And now we are going to have a pitching change. I'll try to get that information to you right now. Who is coming in for the Napa Silverados? That is all for Chris DeLeon.
Braulio, let me get this right. Braulio Ortiz, B-R-A-U-L-I-O. Braulio Ortiz was going to come in, making his 6th appearance on the year. He's pitched 7 innings so far, has 6 walks, 13 strikeouts. His record is 1 win and 2 losses. His earned run average is 7.71.
So DeLeon is finished after he goes 6+ innings, gets him into the 7th. He's given up 4 runs on 3 hits to Pittsburg.
A couple more important numbers on Ortiz. 6'7", 250 pounds.
Oh, he's a tight end.
At least.
Yeah, big fella out there on the mound, throwing hard. And he should be ready to go in just a moment. So it's Braulio Ortiz. DeLeon's night is done. And just like Hammer and Hatch, Braulio going to inherit a couple of runners here. So
nobody out for the Diamonds.
Ready.
They're down by 3, but we're only in the 7th inning. So this is a big opportunity for them to break into this, at least break into the lead.
So Ortiz taking his warm-up toss to tell you a little bit more about yesterday's Napa game. Angel Ventura, 5 innings pitched, 3 runs, 1 earned, 7 strikeouts. Martin Cronin took the loss, 2 innings, 7 runs, 3 earned, 3 walks. He actually got the start in that game. Rando Moreno ended up with 3 hits, scored twice with an RBI. Dempster, Gillespie, and Jake Taylor each had 2 hits for San Rafael, and an HR and 3 RBIs for Jake Taylor. Continues to have another great year for San Rafael. Here's the pitch now. And now we're going to have a balk called on Ortiz. So before he can actually get 1 pitch off, the Diamonds are going to get 180 feet for free. So runners at 2nd and 3rd now. There was actually no pitch now following the balk.
Diamonds with speed at 2nd and at 3rd.
Base hit could draw them within 1. Brock Monte waits on deck. Here's the pitch, up high for a ball, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. I was looking earlier at Jake Taylor's numbers and looked like they were down a little bit. Now I look back, and after the home run and the RBIs last night, he's got 15 home runs and 64 RBIs for Jake. 1-0 pitch, and that's in there for a strike. And we count 1 ball and 1 strike here to Morgan Blatnick. Strikeout, reached on an error and scored. Bounced back to the pitcher. That was leading off the 5th. Ortiz, a menacing look out there with the big frame, the long stare. Right-hander comes set, the 1-1 way up high, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Two balls and a strike to Blatnick, who now represents the tying run. So De Leon could not quite get that shutdown inning that they were looking for. There's a strike in there. The count 2-2. Both those runners out there, his responsibility. Ortiz ready now. The 2-2. And that one gets away. And here comes Garcia headed for the plate. The throw is not in time. Throw gets away. It's going to be corralled out there before Brett Smith can come down the line. So that's going to be a wild pitch. A run scores. Runner to third. And it's going to be a 3-2 count.
Garcia had beaten the throw, but the ball knocked off the glove of Ortiz and up the third base line. Brett Smith did not try to follow him to home plate, but he is just 90 feet away. Nobody out.
And really a wild pitch is going to be called, but could have easily been a passed ball that time. Take your pick. The Diamonds will take it either way. Runner at third, 1 in now for Pittsburgh. Score is 7-5. Ground ball to short. This will get another run home. And the play is made at first base. And Blatnick picks up an RBI as Smith scored. He's out 6-3, but the Diamonds have cut the lead to 7-6. And here comes Bracamonte.
2 walks, a balk, a wild pitch, and a ground out. And the Diamonds have scored 2 runs without a base hit.
So close the book on De Leon as he goes 6+. He gives up 6 runs on just 3 hits. His night is officially over. And Ortiz now to the plate to Bracamonte. Big swing and a miss there. And we're talking to you how sought after Bracamonte was and has been. There's a guy, Billy Horn, of the normal Corn Belters, who had actually signed another backup catcher. Is the 0-1 pitch on its way, and that one just off the outside part of the plate. Count 1-1. Corn Belters of the Frontier League. And the Houston organization had let Brock go. And Horn was asking Joe Torre, who we know quite well, you know, who else do you know? Trying to pick up another player. Here's the 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. And the count goes 1 ball and 2 strikes. You know, the Corn Belters had signed this other catcher who apparently couldn't hit and apparently was tough to deal with. But they decided to keep him instead of signing Bracamonte. And then Aaron Miles was talking about that with Joe. This one slapped out to the right side. That one is going to fall in for a base hit for Bracamonte. Didn't get a whole lot of it, but enough to get himself a base hit. He's aboard at first with 1 down.
Now batting number 7, Joel Carranza.
So here's Carranza now, 1 on and 1 out. And the tying run is aboard here in Gabriel Bracamonte. Brock away from first, Carranza. And the pitch swung on, popped up, foul, the count 0-1. So Aaron and Tori were talking about it, and Aaron and neither one of them knew a lot about Bracamonte. Aaron asked him, well, what do you think about Bracamonte? And he said, well, if they kept the other guy, how good could this Bracamonte be? Well, they found out, and we certainly found out, that he's very good indeed.
Well, you know,
Next pitch outside, ball one.
When Bracamonte came to the team, we were told that Cesar Cedeno is the one who told the Diamonds about Bracamonte. So I don't know where all that fits in, but
Cesar Cedeno should know. Apparently, when you leave those affiliated leagues, Scott, that there's a visa requirement for the foreign-born players. 1-1 pitch outside, gets away, and Bracamonte is going to be into scoring position. And right now, boy, Napa's giving away gifts like it's December instead of August.
Bracamonte on his second with just one out.
So, and apparently those teams do not want to pay to fly the foreign-born players back to deal with their visa and take on all that expense. So it makes it kind of difficult for some of those guys to get called up. But Joe Torre was very adamant in telling me that Bracamonte very well sought after. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and that one is low, and the count goes 3 balls and 1 strike to Carranza. Ryan Lashley waits on deck. Bracamonte away from second. Carranza waits the pitch, and the fastball in there for a strike, and it's 3-2. So the calls have been coming quite a bit for Bracamonte. Lincoln, Nebraska, Texas, and others. The Gary Railcats also very interested in Brock's services. They said at the very least he will be a spring training invitee to one of those leagues. 3-2 pitch, and that's inside, ball 4, and the Diamonds now with the potential go-ahead run on base and still only 1 out.
Now batting number 12, Ryan Lashley.
So a walk to Carranza. Here's Lashley. Couple of strikeouts with a base hit sandwiched in between those for Lash. A 7-6 game, but the Diamonds a base hit from tying it up. Righty-righty matchup here. Swung on, hit hard. That's into right field. A base hit. Bracamonte going to stop at third. Here comes the throw. It's cut off. But that one, bad luck for the Diamonds in the sense that it was hit just too hard.
Kern came in and made the smart play, and he came up ready to make the throw to home plate. And the smart play also was made at third, where Aaron Miles said, we're not going to try to score on this. And the bases are loaded.
So the bases are loaded. Bracamonte representing the tying run. He's aboard at third base. And to talk about how good he has played for the Diamonds and how good he has been, Brock has hit in 9 of 10. 3 hits Thursday, including a double and 3 RBIs. 2 more yesterday, another RBI. And his on-base percentage has gone from 374 to 383. Batting average 326 to 330. 15 hits in his last 10 games. You can tell, you can say that the other teams are going to be interested. Here's a pitch outside to Valera, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. Diamonds had a 4-0 lead. Silverados came back to tie it. Silverados took a 7-4 lead. Diamonds have cut it to 7-6 and looking to take the lead here in the bottom of the 7th. That one inside for a ball, and the count 2-0. And I'd say take one for the team, but easy for me to say that.
Yeah, that self-preservation instinct comes in pretty strong at the beginning, and then you think, oh, maybe but by then the whole play is done.
Easy to say when it's the other guy that's going to be wearing the bruise. 2 balls, no strikes. And the pitch from Ortiz, good. Fastball finds the outside corner, and the count 2 balls and a strike. 7 runs, 7 hits, couple of errors for the Silverados. 6-5-4 for the Diamonds, but back-to-back sketchy games on defense for the Diamonds, hoping their pitching can overcome that. I mean, they're hitting, rather. This one way outside, and the count goes 3-1, and 1 more out of the strike zone. And the Diamonds will tie this one up. So Ortiz in a whole lot of trouble. Silverados looking for that double play to get out of this one. Rafael waits. Here's the 3-1. Swung on, popped up, right side. Ramirez thinks he's got a play, drifting back over towards second base, and he reaches out and he makes the catch right next to Yoshioka. Boy, make the routine pop-up look very difficult indeed, but they get out number 2.
And that's a big out because the Diamonds could have a myriad ways to score with one out, including a fly ball, but that was not deep enough for anybody to tag up. And so now with 2 down, it'll have to be an hit or an error or something like that. No sacrifice fly.
So here's Quitzer now. It's going to take a 2-out hit. Pitch from Ortiz, way up high, ball 1 ball and no strikes.
And Quitzer might be able to bunt the ball down the third base line for a hit.
The third baseman, Bethencourt, playing way back right now. It certainly would catch Napa by surprise if he were to drag one here. The 1-0 pitch, and that's way outside. 2 balls and no strikes. So Ortiz not out of the woods yet. Steven Javier, the on-deck hitter, nowhere to put Quitzer with the bases juiced. So the Diamonds came into the inning trailing by 3. They now trail by 1. And they can take the lead here with a base hit. And the pitch, and that is in there, a strike, and it's 2-1. You know, Ortiz, like so many of these guys that come through this league, just tell by the sound of the mitt popping, throwing with a lot of velocity.
Smart hitter now. Here we go.
2 balls, 1 strike. Quitzer waits, and way inside, ball gets away. And now the runner from third, Bracamonte, thought the better of it and retreats back to third base.
I think from his position, he could not really get a good sight line on the ball itself. The ball was probably hidden by the catcher, and so he didn't really know where the ball was, how far away it was, etc. And he was looking as he wanted to come, but he just didn't dare make the break.
Yeah, that's when, as soon as you hesitate, just go back.
Yeah.
You hesitate 1 second, don't bother. And like you said, Scott, he probably was blocked off, and if you can't tell, you just can't tell.
Yeah.
3 balls, 1 strike here to Quitzer. Takes this one, ball forward, we are tied up. Good at bat for Chris Quitzer. He was ahead in the count. That wasn't a terrible pitch on the 3-1. But Quitz had one to give anyway, and he took it. It was the right decision. He picks up the walk and the RBI. The Diamonds have struck for 3, and Javier now can give Pittsburgh the lead.
There's a symmetry to that scoreboard that gives you a sense of the seesaw nature of this baseball game. But the Diamonds taking a 4-run lead, giving it right back to tie it at 4-4 as Napa came back. Napa taking a 7-4 lead, and the Diamonds come back.
First pitch to Javier, fastball poured in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Diamonds have now batted around here in the inning. The on-deck hitter is Garcia, who walked to start things off. Javier waits, his pitch outside for a ball, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Up next for the Diamonds tomorrow against Napa, 1 o'clock. Monday, of course, the off day, and then Tuesday and Wednesday hosting Sonoma, both games at 6 o'clock right here at Winter Chevrolet Stadium. Ortiz trying to finish off what has been I'm sure for Napa, a marathon inning. Chris DeLeon really had been cruising along the last couple of innings. As a matter of fact, had put up 3 straight zeros since that grand slam inning back in the 3rd inning. 1 ball, 1 strike to Javier. Swing and a miss, and the count 1-2.
But he had walked the first 2 batters in this inning, and that sealed his doom in the 7th. And Ortiz came in, promptly balked the runners to 2nd and 3rd, and the Diamonds were off and running.
Or walking.
Walking, and they were actually trying to get a chance to do some running if Javier can connect.
Ooh, I just kill me sometimes. The 1-2 pitch on the outside corner, of strike, and that will do it. So the Diamonds are done. They leave them loaded, but they get 3, and at the end of 7 full, we are tied at 7. To the 8th we go. Silverados and the Diamonds all tied up.
One example of teamwork is a smoothly executed double play memorialized in the famous baseball poem, Tinkers to Evers to Chance. Another example of great teamwork is the Pittsburg Chamber of Commerce. MyPittsburghChamber.org brings together the many and varied businesses that make up the local economy and forges them into a community force that is focused on economic development, advocacy, partnerships, and workforce development. The Pittsburgh Chamber is making a difference. Even if your business doesn't leave you the time to get personally involved, your membership contribution will advance the cause. Visit mypittsburghchamber.org today.
Libraries are community centers, and truly the community comes and uses them. They're here for anybody who walks in the door. It's important for people to have a connection to their community because it makes you feel like you belong. Mechanics Bank really values their relationship. They actively reach out with an open hand to nonprofits. Mechanics Bank doesn't just show up and say that they're going to do something. They actually follow through. They're not just a partner in name, they're a partner in person. My name's Kristen Anderson. I'm the Executive Director of the Walnut Creek Library Foundation, and I'm a mechanic.
Struck out.
Okay, so Ray Jones to start.
Yes.
And it's Leach.
All right, Alex, come get him, baby.
All right, new pitcher into the Diamonds. They have put up a 3 spot to tie things at 7 after going down by 3. Let's see if Alex Leach, the new pitcher, can hold the Silverados.
Alex Leach had a good night 2 nights ago when he came in that game that the Diamonds eventually won with a walk-off hit in the bottom of the 9th inning. He has had 20 appearances so far in the season, 29 and a third innings pitched, 17 walks, 37 strikeouts. His record, 2 wins and no losses. His earned run average is 3.99.
All right, so let's go to the top of the 8th inning. And Alex Leach is the new pitcher. And Ray Jones, the leadoff man, will start it off. Jones, Ramirez, Willie Salas. And should anybody reach, we'd see Kendall Coleman.
I thought Leach was growing a beard, but I guess he may have abandoned that effort.
So Leach against Ray Jones here to start it off, top of the 8th. Another good ball game here from Pittsburgh. And another wild one, 7-7 as we go to the 8th. Leach ready, and the pitch. Inside for a ball. And the count 1 ball and no strikes. So yesterday, Martinez got that win over Vallejo. That was a 6-4 final. That was the 9th straight loss. We told you earlier that San Rafael beat Vallejo in a day game today. 1-0 pitch, big swing and a miss, and the count goes 1-1. Drew Bravo got the win for the Clips. Amilcar Cruz took the loss for Vallejo, and Robert Humes picked up the save. Things have really gone south for Vallejo. Things going south for Napa, and the 1-1 pitch, and that one floats in there. Good looking off-speed delivery. Just does miss, however, and the count goes 2 balls and 1 strike.
Not getting that call upset Leach. He sat back there and took his time, and now he's ready to go again.
2-1 pitch from Alex, swinging ground ball right side off the first base bag to get it. Underhanded flip to the pitcher, covering in time for the out. Nicely done by Ryan Lashley. And how often from that far away do you see an underhanded flip?
That was a nice play by Lashley and a great play by Leach to get over there to cover the bag and to be able to make that catch. Here's another look. As Lashley comes off of first base, you can see him with the backhand stop, and then he turns around, underhands it to Leach, who just does get on the bag to get the out.
He looked like he was so far away from first base. I normally would see the overhand toss, but however he did it, he got the job done. Nice play over there by the first baseman for the Diamonds for out number 1. Swing, pop up left side here from Willie Salas. Or Devin Ramirez, excuse me, and that'll get out of play. And the count, no balls and a strike to Devin. Fly out for Devin and a ground out in his first 2 at-bats. Since then, a base hit. And then back in the 7th, he walked and scored a run. Looks to bunt, pulls back, takes way up and outside. And the count, 1 ball and 1 strike to the Napa first baseman.
That looked like a pitch out, though no one was on.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody aboard. Nightfall here in Pittsburgh. Very cool evening here in the Berg, and this next one outside for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. More on that Martinez win yesterday as they continue to play good ball. Bravo, 6 innings, 4 earned runs in picking up that win for the Clips. 6 innings, 6 runs, just 2 earned, 7 strikeouts for Amilcar Cruz. 2-1, and that's in there for a strike. So Cruz actually pitched pretty well, but the unearned runs really did him in. Lose a game by 2, you give up 4 unearned runs, and that's a mighty ouch. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Ramirez. And the pitch, swing, foul tipped, held by Javier, and that is a strikeout for Alex Leach. Down goes Ramirez, 2 down, now nobody aboard, and here's Willie Salas, the shortstop.
The beginning of the big inning for the big 4-run inning for Napa started with Salas hitting the ball to the outfield and down the left field line, and he was running into second base. He pulled up limp. It looked like he was going to be out of the game. It looked like he had pulled a muscle, but he stayed in the game and he has played well.
This pitch is up high for a ball. So Willie ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Couple of walks, double, couple of runs scored, and a strikeout for Salas so far. Had himself a good evening at the plate. Trying to get a board here in the 1-0 pitch. That one apparently a breaking ball that just didn't, and the count goes 2 balls and no strikes. There you see Willie. For those of you watching on Delta TV and the Pittsburgh channel streaming live, this one up high for a ball. Count goes 3-0. Kendall Coleman would be next. Diamonds looking for an elusive shutdown inning. Both teams, Scott, finding that very difficult to come by. 3-0 pitch in there for a strike, and it's 3-1. You always hear the announcers on those big league games talking about how important that is. And, well, so far today it's been tough to get. 3-1 pitch, and that's in there, a strike, and the count 3-2. Nate Etheridge had himself a good game yesterday for Martinez. Picked up an RBI and a home run and 3 RBIs. Nate's got 11 and 50 now in those categories. 3-2 pitch punched out to right field, and that'll be caught out there by Blatnick in right. The inning is over. Alex Leach gets the shutdown inning here, which the Diamonds were looking for. We'll go to the bottom of the eighth. We are all tied at 7 apiece.
Are you looking for a community-based establishment that will provide a fun and exciting environment for your family? Certainly Diamonds Baseball is one, and no doubt Lumpy's Diner is another. Before or after the game, eating at Lumpy's Diner or Lumpy's Diner Express can make for a great doubleheader. And if you want to win a road game, LD's Catering will make your event a hit no matter the location. Lumpy's Diner is a homegrown sensation, world famous since 2008. Bring your family to ours. Little J's. The handcrafted burgers are sensational. The generous sandwiches are delicious. The hand-carved tri-tip is the best in town. Getting hungry? You probably already know where to go to find these food treasures. Little J's in Pittsburg. Since 2003, Little J's has been rewarding those smart enough to stop in for a meal. They can also cater your next event. On Loveridge Road, it's Little J's Restaurant.
All right, to the bottom of the eighth we go. Jose Garcia to lead it off against a new pitcher. It'll be Devontae Glenn picking up for Braulio Ortiz. So it's been De Leon, Ortiz, and now Glenn. On the other side, it's been Brett Solano, Cam Hatch, and Alex Leach for the Diamonds. And Devontae Glenn, the right-hander, finishing up his warm-up tosses. And for the Diamonds, Garcia Smith and Morgan Blatnick here in this inning. So the 9, 1, and 2 batters due up here for Pittsburgh. They need one to take the lead.
Glenn is making his 27th appearance on the season. 36 and a third innings pitched with 14 walks and 26 strikeouts. His record, a 1 win and 3 losses, and his ERA is 6.19.
Here comes the Diamonds.
And our public address announcer, Paula, announcing here come the Diamonds. And it's Jose Garcia to lead it off. He's had a good night at the plate. Couple of walks, a base hit, stolen base, and a run scored. And then, of course, he'll turn it back to the top of the order, the dynamic duo of Brett Smith and Morgan Blatnick. Another exciting game here from Pittsburgh as Garcia stands in to face Napa right-hander Devontae Glenn. And the first pitch to Garcia swung on, punched into short center field, coming in, and it's going to be the right fielder cutting off the center fielder, Kern, in front of Jones to make the sliding catch for out number 1. And on your screen, I'm sure it looked like Kern came out of nowhere.
It looked like it was going to be a collision out there in right center field, and actually I was surprised he made the catch. He did an outstanding job to get to the ball. Here's a replay as Garcia just lifts it into short right center, and here comes, as you said, the right fielder to make a sliding catch, and out number 1.
So Garcia flies to right, and Kern able to make that nice play, and very important for the Silverados. Not only to get the out, but to avoid the collision out there in right center field. 1-0 pitch. Smith pops this one up and foul. That'll get out of play. And the count, 1 ball and 1 strike to Brett. Brett 0 for 2 so far. He does have, however, a pair of walks. Morgan Blatnick waits on deck. Here's the pitch, and that's inside for a ball. And the count goes 2-1. So we told you about the great game that Nate Etheridge had for Martinez. Blackstone and Barfield each had a couple of hits in that win for Martinez, who Well, they just keep getting better, Scott. Here's the pitch down and away, and the count goes 3-1. You talk about a team that hasn't given up. It seemed like not too far into the season, they were so far out of first place, and then when it was a few weeks in when they announced the playoff format, there's ball 4 to Brett Smith, so he's going to reach for the third time today.
Diamond's looking for some more late inning heroics. 2 nights ago was a walk-off victory, and now they've got a runner at first base with 1 out here in the 8th inning.
But remember, we had to wait a few weeks to find out what the playoff format was going to be. And in the years past, we played the split seasons where you play half of the season, then you start over and play another half. Didn't work out in Martinez's favor, who just did not play well at all in that first half. But yet they have just gone on to play much, much better in the second half of the season. This one up high to Blatnick in the count. 1 ball and no strikes.
Diamond's hoping Blatnick can get another walk, but you have to wonder, what are they going to do with Brett Smith? They'll probably play it safe and won't send him, but 1 out.
Here's Blatnick waiting, and the pitch to Morgan in there for a strike. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Bethencourt thinking a possible bunt could be coming. So he's playing in on the grass, a couple of feet off the line. And you got Salas over there at shortstop, kind of shading over towards second base, looking for the double play ball. So that's a 5-hole wide open for the left-hander Blatnick. 1-1, and that's low. 2 balls and a strike. So just to finish off that win by Martinez, they had a 4-run Clipper 5th. Proved to be the difference. Devin Carter scored on an error, and then later in the inning, that's when Etheridge unloaded that 3-run bomb. And Martinez looked like they're going to make the playoffs, of course, but hats off to them for continuing to play hard through what was a very tough inaugural season. 2-1 pitch, and that one is high for a ball, and the count 3-1. And Morgan Blatnick in that usual situation of being ahead in the count. So 3-1, 3-1 here to Blatnick. Bracamonte waits on deck. Morgan, 6-3 ground out back in the 7th. He did pick up an RBI. Reached on an error. Struck out and grounded out the other couple of times at bat. 14 runs, 12 hits in the ball game. Runs split evenly. And a 7-5 lead for the Silverados in the hits category. Runner fakes, and this one way up high for a ball. And Morgan Blatnick, another walk. And another walk in the inning. So after the fly ball by Garcia, Smith has walked, Blatnick has walked. Here comes Bracamonte. Walk, base hit, and a couple of runs scored for Brock. Just 1 out in the inning, and the Diamonds looking to take the lead.
Big walk there for Blatnick that put Smith in scoring position, and with his speed, it doesn't take much of a base hit to get him at home if he gets any kind of break.
Righty-righty matchup here. Bracamonte waits. Here's the pitch. That is low and hops up there, and Taylor able to get his glove on that and keep that one from going to the backstop. He just really saved his pitcher, Devontae Glenn, from a wild pitch.
And here comes the speech.
Silverados want to talk it over. They don't have anything going on in their bullpen. So Tito Fuentes just out there for conversation.
Now Lopez is going to go out and try to hurry things along, but Fuentes is done and leaves the mound.
We can more than likely just talking to him about how to pitch to Bracamonte. I'm thinking, and now Tito wants to talk to the home plate umpire. And I think, was that his last trip to the mound that he can take?
I don't know. It's
Paul is telling
rule.
me it's 6. With how many he takes out there and how slow he walks, I can see why they made the rule.
They didn't count detours to the bullpen.
And like you said, Scott, he's in no hurry to move this game along. At least it's not a school night.
No, it's not. Yeah, but it could become one pretty quick.
The 1-0 pitch, low, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. So Devontae Glenn, a tough time finding the strike zone in this inning. And how big does that play by Kern look now out in right field? Looks fairly routine, turned into anything but. That was the first and so far the only out in the inning. And it looks like Barnesi getting loose down to the Diamond bullpen. 2 balls, no strikes. Bracamonte, tired of waiting, he asked for timeout. Timeout granted.
Which just creates more waiting. Here we go.
Come on, guys, this is actually an exciting game. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch. And that is low, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. Devontae Glenn not making this one easy on himself.
No.
Once one out of the strike zone away from bringing Mr. Grand Slam up with the bases loaded again. 3-0, way outside, not even close. And boy, Scott, those last ones, very easy takes.
And isn't that nice? You know, it's tough enough in that situation, being a hitter, but it's easy for Bracamonte to say, I don't have to swing at that. Now, I didn't think anybody had been throwing very long in the bullpen. Now, Mejia is going to come in here, but he was warming up earlier, but he hasn't had much time to warm up this time. But he is going to come in, and Glenn is going to sit down.
Breaking the action, pitching change again. Bases full of Diamonds. Come on back as we'll return to Winter Chevrolet Stadium here in just a moment.
Huh? And, yeah. Sorry. What's that? There's another baseball. Oh, no one's playing that one. That I know of.
All right, the new pitcher for the Silverados is the right-hander Angel Mejia. And to tell you more about Angel, here's Scott to give you the numbers.
Angel Mejia making his 18th appearance, 18 and 2/3 innings pitched, 15 walks, 28 strikeouts in that time. His record is 1 win, 2 losses, and 3 saves, and his ERA is 3.86.
So Angel Mejia, 4th pitcher used, Devontae Glenn. He gets only 1 out in the inning, so he goes a third of an inning, and the 3 runners on base all belong to him. So he and the Silverados hope that Mejia can get a ground ball at one of the infielders, turn the double play, and get out of this inning. But here comes Joel Carranza, who already has a grand slam tonight First pitch in there for a strike, and the count 0-1. 7-7 tie. As you look at Carranza and his numbers, that was, of course, coming into the ball game. 8 home runs and 55 runs driven in. Now slams this one right back up the middle of base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes the second run. Throw going toward third is cut off. The Diamonds are taking a 2-run lead. It's 9-7. 6 RBIs in the ball game for Joel Carranza.
And he is just Mr. Clutch. Unbelievable. Coming through with the game on the line another time here in the 8th inning. Carranza with a 2 RBI single. It is amazing.
Yeah, he came to the Diamonds a few weeks into the season this year. Got off to a bit of a slow start, but well, after that, he has been fantastic. And over the last few nights, a game winner 2 nights ago, and now a big hit here, as this one is high for a ball to Ryan Lashley. So 2 RBI base hit. Diamonds lead it by 2. And Carranza does it again for Pittsburgh.
Still just 1 out.
Lashley swings and misses. Good pitch fading away from the right-handed batter, and the count 1-1. Couple of base hits for Lash, couple of strikeouts, but a good night for him, 2 for 4. And the next one, swing, broken back, ground ball to third. Now a long throw over to first to get out number 2, and both runners are going to move up. Bethencourt was kind of in between things that time, and he did not step up to get the lead runner. I thought that was a bit strange, instead of just going to first. Take another look here.
And he had him dead to rights, running right into him, but he did not take the time to get him.
It was a very strange looking play. He does get out number 2 as Lashley grounds out 5-3, but instead of 1 run in scoring position, now there are 2. And the pitch, and this one is up high, and Scott, there's not the force at all the bases that you would have with runners at first and second. But in any event, they do get out number 2, and here's Valera. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss, and the count 1-1. So a big night for Carranza. The walk-off win 2 nights ago. The grand slam in the 3rd. Big 2 RBI base hit off Angel Mejia here in the 8th to give the Diamonds the 9-7 lead. Here's the pitch. In there, a strike. And the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Valera trying to keep things alive here. Got a chance to drive in 2 more and really put a hurting on Napa. Pitch swung on and missed strike 3. So Mejia gets out of further damage, but the damage is done. It's Joel Carranza one more time. He's got 6 RBIs. Diamonds lead it by 2. Let's go to the 9th. 9-7 Pittsburgh.
Hampton by Hilton. Road trips can be grueling, which is why baseball teams are happy to split their road games. But there's one way to guarantee a win on the road. That's by staying at Hampton Inn by Hilton. Fresh, up-to-date accommodations include a hearty cooked breakfast to get you off to a good start on the day. Known for low-end prices and high-end service, a stay at Hampton Inn by Hilton means you can earn points in the valuable Hilton Honors Program. You can find a Hampton Inn by Hilton in Pittsburgh and Brentwood.
Anytime we have a conversation with Mechanics Paint, we know that we're in the same business. Our business is customer service, integrity, loyalty, friendship. Mechanics clearly establishes a high level of tradition, honesty, integrity that comes through in all their transactions. I trust them with everything. I know that they're there for us. My name is Paul Irwin. I'm a mechanic.
Nick Parnesi has come in to try to pick up the save. It's Joel Carranza playing hero again. Diamonds lead it by 2, and to tell you more about Nick Barnese, here's Scott McDonald.
Well, Nick started the year as the #1 draft choice for the Diamonds, and he has come through as a key part of their bullpen throughout this season. He is making his 28th appearance tonight, 31 innings pitched. He has 16 walks and 32 strikeouts in that time. His record is 2-2 with 4 saves. His ERA is 4.65.
And he is charged with getting the final 3 outs here and trying to pick up a save. Sean Johnson had moved into that spot and done so very well, but he had done so very well. Other teams and other leagues had taken notice, and he is quickly gone. So here's Barnese. It'll be Kendall Coleman, Nico Tony, and Nick Kern. So this will be no easy situation for Barnese. He'll try to navigate the middle part of this Silverados order. Talks about the Silverados' struggles, losing 4 in a row and staring number 5 right in the face.
And this would be, if they lose this one, their second really painful loss here in Pittsburgh.
This one in there for a strike, becoming a nightmare facility. They took a 3-run lead just a couple of innings ago. Were looking good, but could not hold on to it. Diamonds have come back to tie. Now they've taken the lead. Next pitch from Nick, and that's going to be a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. But Vallejo, well, they've lost 10 in a row. The last win came August the 7th against the Clippers. Here's Barnese. And the 1-1 pitch. Swing popped up. Left side. Is it going to stay in play? And giving it a look, and this one will be out of play as it bounces off the top of the Silverado dugout there, wide of third base. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Kendall Coleman. They didn't have time to calculate everything that happened with the game against San Rafael today, but last look, that was a 7-4 loss to San Rafael. And over the previous 9 game streak, the Vallejo's been shut out as this one is called strike 3. Kendall Coleman doesn't like that, still standing there in disbelief, but he is out number 1 and a big first out as Barnese gets the strikeout. Here's Nico Tony. The Admirals in their struggles in those 9 game, now 10 game losing streak, they've been shut out a couple of times. They were shut out in Napa against the Silverados and also at home against the Stoppers. Here's the pitch to Tony. Breaking ball in there for a strike and the count 0-1. Can't blame the hitters. Hitters still doing well. And also they got Graylin Durkee back in the mix. Barnese wants to take a look around. Well, something's going on in left field. Something about onto the field. Look like they got beach balls in L.A. We got soccer balls here in Pittsburgh. Quitzer takes care of that one. And so far, that is the first one.
Yes.
It's the first one that I know of. We did have a rabbit. Remember, we had the bunny rabbit. Now our first soccer ball. 0-1 pitch. Tony swings and grounds this one foul. And the count 0-2. So Graylin Durkee is a big part of that championship run by Vallejo last year. He is back in the mix after making a couple of stops. Made a stop at AA Wichita in the American Association. They're glad to have him back. The 0-2 pitch, a called strike 3. And that is out number 2. And now saying too much to the home plate umpire is Nico Tony, and he has been tossed. So Tony strikes out and then is thrown out, and he is out number 2. So Nick Kerr, the last chance for the Silverados. I did not hear what Nico Tony said, but it was something about that last strike call that he didn't like. And home plate umpire Saul Lopez didn't like what he heard, and he tossed him.
It smells like the stadium is burning up.
I am smelling something, and that is not steaks on the barbecue. Something that's just plain burning.
Maybe it's Saul Lopez. He's certainly hot, and hot enough to throw Nico Tony out of the game.
You know, Nico made some kind of comment apparently about Saul's vision or his judgment or both. Whichever, that got him tossed, and now Nick Kern stands up there. Silverado still need just one base runner to bring the tying run to the plate. Here's the pitch, and Nick takes low for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to Nick. Foul pop. Walked and scored a run. Reached on a 6-4 fielder's choice and had a bunt base hit. This one gets away. And the count goes 1 ball or 2 balls and no strikes. Diamonds look like they're in good shape, but sometimes that third out can be so elusive. Barnesi ready, 2-0 pitch, high, ball 3, it's 3-0. Bethencourt would be next. In there, a strike. You got to figure in this situation, Kern would probably take another pitch. He does not represent the tying run. Just looking to get on board any way he can. 3-1 pitch, called strike 2. Now the Silverados down to their final strike. No more bullets left for Napa. Trying to avoid loss, their 5th straight loss. Next one, and that's a called strike 3. The ball game is over. Leach gets the win. Barnesi gets the save. The Diamonds win the ball game. And the Diamonds run their record now to 34-35, just 1 game under 500. Napa falls to 27-41. Diamonds put more room in between themselves and Vallejo. And for the Diamonds, well, I'll tell you, it was the Joel Carranza show. 6 RBIs, including a grand slam and the game-winning hit late in the ball game.
This is the 2nd time in a row that the Napa Silverados have come into Pittsburgh and have lost to Joel Carranza hitting the game-winning shot. And he was just a big night for Carranza. It's been a bigger and bigger season for him as the Diamonds are riding on his back, apparently, as they head for the playoffs. And what an important game this was. It turned the whole week around, I believe. Tomorrow, they can go for another winning week. If they win tomorrow's game, they'll be at 4-2. And the problem with tomorrow is they're now a game below 500. It's just been the thing that they have not been able to break through, and maybe this is the kind of thing to give them the lift to do that. But what an exciting comeback and thrilling victory for the Diamonds, and what a week it's been. We've got replays we're going to show you from today's game, and I think we're going to start out with a very big home run from Joel Carranza, who came up with the bases loaded in that 3rd inning.
Certainly would like to see that one, Joel, coming up in that 3rd inning.
And there it goes. 8th home run of the year, 4 runs batted in right there. We didn't get to see much of Joel, but there goes Jose Garcia into second base, and the throw went into center field. Garcia up and taking off for 3rd. The throw did not go to 3rd. Here's Garcia scoring on a wild pitch as the throw came in late. Here's that lastly underhanded throw to the catcher Leach, which is a great defensive play to keep the Diamonds in this ball game.
That was a very nice play indeed. Well, the Diamonds didn't get the start they had hoped from Brett Solano, but what it all comes down to is the game that Joel Carranza had. The grand slam, the 2 RBI base hits that came in the 8th to give the Diamonds the lead and the win. Barnesi ends up with the save. Leach ends up with the win. The Diamonds get another win. We'll be back here tomorrow against these very same Napa Silverados. Sunday day game starting at 1 o'clock. And that does it for us here with Diamonds Baseball. Diamonds a winner here 9-7. Anthony Schultz for all of us here at Diamonds Baseball. For Scott McDonald, good night from Pittsburgh.